that time. Come here, bud. Who's your good buddy? Who's this? Who's this? Is this a puppy? Is this a puppy? Are you a puppa? Why hasn't this started? It should have started. Don't tell me waiting for Human Boy Yes Yes. You aren't doing that. I hit start. I did my job. Hey! Wake up! Wake up, streaming software. Hi, puppy. Alright, we're here. We have a pupple up. She's good. She's a good one. One of the best. Oh man, you are just sacked out. We went for a good long walk/run today. And she is a sacked dog. Hi, David. I'm snuggling with my dog while waiting for my opponent. We'll do the stream intro in a second. There. You can see her. She's good. She's nice. What up, GS? We got ourselves a Hazel. Here are her toes. Do you have toes? She's very tired. I went for my usual 3-mile run. Took her with me because she was being all antsy. She made it about 1.5 miles, halfway point, and then she crashed hard. So we did the 1.5 miles home just to walk. It still makes her a tired pup. We'll center the camera a little bit more. So what do we have today? We have some more replays from Warpstone Cup Stage 1, Round 1. If you don't know what that is for some reason. Big old tournament. For the trophy you see on the left of the blocker there, the 4 Skaven plushies will go to the top 4. So first place gets the trophy and then a plushie of their choice. Second place gets the next plushie. Third gets a third, and then fourth gets whatever's left of the plushies, and then they all get Steam gift cards for various amounts of money. First place gets the most. Now, it is changing because people keep donating to the prize pool, but I think when I first posted it, it was like first place gets like $200 in Steam money, second place gets $100, and then third and fourth get $50. That's off the top of my head, so it might be slightly off, but you get the point. So that's good. That's cool. Now, the thing is, Stage 1, Round 1, that might technically be a lie, because our first game of the day, Round 2 actually just started this morning. So I have my opponent, Stingers, who will be here momentarily, and we'll be doing that. But Stingers and I are already in Round 2. Well, everybody's in Round 2. So I gotta play him. We both won our first game, so he'll be a little tough. It should be fine. We did do pick and ban for game 1 ahead of time, so it should be nice and quick to get into game here, as he has just appeared now. So I will quit stalling for time and just load the build I prepared, and let's get into it. Game 1 is Kislev versus High Elves. If you care about how the pick and ban went down, I global banned Empire for this whole series. Neither Stingers or myself can play Empire. He global banned Tzeentch, so neither Stingers or myself can play Tzeentch. And then for game 1, I went with Greenskins, Ogre Kingdoms, or Kislev. I banned Kislev. From that, he removed Greenskins, and then picked High Elves. So I could either fight his High Elves with Ogre Kingdoms or Kislev. I personally think High Elves counter Ogre Kingdoms really hard, so I went with Kislev. That's how we ended up here. Spoilers, because we haven't seen that right. I don't know if I have Stingers as replays, but I know I didn't cast my own. But I did win, yes. And this morning we hit 10k subs. So that's pretty fucking exciting. I'm very happy about that. The old 10,000. We're out of the single digits. Alright, let's focus up. Blocker should be gone. Yes, it is. This is a sweaty try-hard tournament. This is sweaty try-hard stuff. People will be playing the best that they think they can, and this is my best build versus High Elves. I haven't played this matchup in a very long time because Kislev has been overpowered and banned for so long. But we're going to give it a shot. I honestly threw it into my Greenskins and Ogre Kingdoms pick 3 as a bait. I wanted him to ban Kislev and not Greenskins and Ogre Kingdoms, which are two of my best factions right now. But he didn't do it. He didn't go for it. He banned Greenskins. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. I have Streltsy to shoot at enemy cavalry or at Imric or at anything with really any mass to it at all. My front line's going to be better. High Elves aren't the best at dealing with Armored Kossar and Kislevite Warrior front lines. Kislev's front line is just really cost-effective and fine. The Streltsy are going to have to just trade with Imric or their Eaglecaster or their Cavalry or something. I also have a heavy War Sled to help me kill like infinite amounts of High Elf infantry with good cycle charging. And then we do have Griffin Legions. With Glorious Charge, they should actually do pretty well against High Elf Cavalry, especially if I support them with the Mordheim Beowulfs. Brought the Thing in the Woods ROR just to reduce any healing that the High Elves want to give to their Dragon Princes or something. So these three are going to walk around as a mobile Doom Squad. And if his cavalry wants to come around the sides or something, which he does have enough troops, I'm going to hope that the Wolfhearts net, plus just Streltsy concentrated fire, or these Kislevite Warrior Halberds can fall back and help me deal with it. That's roughly the idea. Though I will admit, Kislev's not my most practiced faction, so I'm not thrilled I got in this matchup. But sometimes you get backed into a corner, either by good pick and ban by your opponent or bad pick and ban by yourself. Not a good Kislev build? Good start. Good start. I'll throw these guys on melee mode just in case. And then you need to start charging up Winds of Magic, because I only brought Blizzard for my spell. It's good at clearing out High Elf infantry that have really high stats, but also maybe if I pair it with the Wolfheart's net, I could get a beautiful Blizzard off onto a blob fight somewhere. Won't be surprised if this loses to High Elves. Yeah, High Elves are good. Stingers is a good player. I wouldn't be shocked if I lost either. We're both climbing the ridge right now looking for the other. There's a bolt thrower way the hell back there. Okay, he's out of range. Alright. So what do we got? Lightcaster with net, and then Loremaster of Hoeth with heal. He brought double Shem's Burning Gaze, which is illegal, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. Can't have two of the same spell. That's all that is. No, don't lock. Hey. Okay. Talons of Torquelada, it's just light archers. He has Warlines of Krace. He has double fucking Shem's Burning Gaze. I'm hoping he at least doesn't use both of them and realizes that he brought two. He's a little close to the white line, too, so running into multiple issues here. Whoops, Wolfheart's going too far forward. Alright, we can bring you guys up now. Right there. And then I'll charge in right after that with a chariot, and that should do good, except for he's netting me right now. Okay, so we'll back off. We'll get a free charge over there. Things in the woods have routed off that. Now we can dive forward onto the archers uncontested. But yeah, that blizzard did exactly what we wanted it to do. It just immediately routed everybody off. I'm going to move my Streltsy up a bit, too. As my Griffin Legions try and team up on that Dragon Prince back there. Streltsy do need to fall back. And this Heavy War Sled can go charge this guy who's already in melee combat as the Akshina Ambushers. ROR can start shooting at the Talons of Tor Kaleda. We're still trying to deal with the Fireborn, but it's not going great. So we'll fall back for now, as my Things in the Woods are doing really, really well. It's not a big deal. We did okay versus his Fireborn. It's not like it was a complete disaster, as my Streltsy are going to turn up here and start to do some good work. Wolfarts are having issues. Let's keep going with other archers here. We've almost shock damaged those guys down into nothingness. You guys continue to fall back. Okay, we'll see if the Dragon Princes notice that that's happening to them right now. Looks like they eventually got the message, but still could be some decent damage, especially if I start pairing the Streltsy over here with them. And if they want to run uphill into my Streltsy, I can't just net them in play. Fuck! I tried to click off of that, and it didn't quite go my way. Things in the Woods have routed off some of that stuff. That's going okay. You guys need to fall back and let the Kislev Warriors deal with it. Streltsy and those things have dealt with this. You guys are just going to become little pistoliers for a second. Armored Kossars walk over here. And y'all are doing your best. Okay, shoot the backs of those spearmen where they're not defended at all. And then this can come here. I'm going to charge the Archmage. It just seems like a better use of my time. Could try and get a little bit of a Lord Snipe down there. Okay, or don't. Alright, Griffin Legion are busy being stupid for some reason. Heavy War Sled's going to fall back. You are going to Blizzard yourself. Take out those white lines of Krace, but also the, you know, the things. Bolt Throws. Okay, we've almost took care of the Dragon Princes. Armored Kossars need to press on to the Archers. Still have Streltsy firing up and over the top, and I'm cleaning out those guys on the bottom here. The Wolfarts need to fall back, because his Lord's going to die in 10 seconds. As soon as I get my net off cooldown for the Wolfarts, which is coming up now. She's dead. So I'm going to just set up my Streltsy's point blank range and shoot her in the face, with Wolfarts also shoot her in the face, and that should end the game, honestly. There we go. GG. GG. Oh boy. But we got it. We got it. Build worked about how it was supposed to. Miscast chance item after overcasting a spell? Yeah, I wasn't going to wait for it to come off cooldown to punish that blob. I forgot I need to save that replay. Kislev player had 10k subscribers. It's true. Wasn't fair. Nothing's ever fair. Alright, let's do Humbo yes yes, Sting 1. Because I gotta send it in to other casters. Next map is Ash Plains, and it's his pick, so I get to counterpick. Let's get the blocker back up. was off cooldown. I don't think that's true. As I always tell myself, if you go 1-0 up, at least I didn't get blown out. Worst thing that can happen to us at this point is a close series. Or I just need to win one of the next 2 games. Saving the rats for the final map. They're okay on Ash Plains. Okay, one, I only counterpick with Skaven now because I don't like where they're at as a faction. I really don't like first picking them. But also, that map of Ultra Ridge, as you saw at the start, I had to climb a hill for a long time. Yeah, Skaven aren't about that life. They like clear lines of sight to what's going on. So, the next map is Ash Plains, and then if we go to Game 3, it's on Eshin. Both of those are a little better for Skaven than Vulture Ridge, though I will say Ash Plains, the second map, is the best for Skaven out of the 3 I was assigned. The plushes were cute. Where can I get them? I found them on Etsy. Yeah, if you look for Skaven plushies on Etsy, you'll probably find them, though I don't know if the shop still exists. TBH. Alpine Ridge is my favorite map for Skaven. GS, you're always out here trolling me, man. You're always getting me. I do have... some concerns. Because Legend... Okay, so I might have done a fib. I might have done a little bit of a lie. This is a bit, don't worry about it. I might have told Legend of Total War that we were streaming our Luther Harkon plus 19 Bloated Corpses campaign stream. So the challenge I proposed was, it's just a bit, 19 Bloated Corpses and Luther Harkon, see if you can just burn down the globe with just that. And he said, dude, that sounds cool. That sounds so cool. After my stream's over, I'm going to send everybody I have your way. And I'm like, all right. So if Legend shows up, / when Legend shows up, just be cool. Just say, oh man, you just missed it. He was just on campaign. He won. He won the whole campaign. So now we're doing some multiplayer. But I promise this is a single player channel. All right, he's going Kislev, Bretonnia, and Beastmen. Ban Grand Cathay. It's a good pick 3. It's a really good pick 3. Once again, this is a try-hard tournament. So he's not fucking around with his picks, and neither will I. Kislev, Bretonnia, and Beastmen. So I can ban one of the 3, for anyone who doesn't know. I can ban one of those 3, and then I need to pick something that can fight either of the remaining 2. Kislev, Bretonnia, and Beastmen. I don't know what can beat Kislev these days, to be honest. So I might just ban Kislev, and let's start thinking about this as Bretonnia and Beastmen. Oh, Bretonnia and Beastmen. Tzeentch and Empire are off the table. Bretonnia and Beastmen. Could go Dwarves. Dwarves could be okay here, to be honest. Ogres? My Ogres do good versus Beastmen. How do I feel about them versus Bretonnia? That's a possibility, but I'm going to look at my other options first. Blob sauce. Getting me. And again, we're not talking about... You might be like, oh, well, there's this obvious pick. I'm going to make this up because it's bad. But like, oh, Slaanesh. Slaanesh is amazing here. Pick that. I'm also factoring in what factions I'm practiced on, right? So my options are of factions I actually feel comfortable on are Beastmen, Dwarves, Greenskins, Empire, banned. Khorne, not a great faction. Kislev, just used them. Ogre Kingdoms, Skaven, Tzeentch, banned. Vampire Coast, Tomb Kings, end of list. Right, so I don't have every faction at my disposal because I don't play every faction, like, really well. Let's go with... I mean, Dwarves could be good. Let me think about it one more time. Beastmen and Bretonnia versus Dwarves or Ogres. Let's do Ogres. Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Ogres recently, so it's probably my best. Need to ban Kislev, though. I played that recently versus Handedens, and it went super poorly. Hi, Rainy Frog. We've always missed you. Always. Loopy, what did he pick? He had Kislev, Bretonnia, and Beastmen, banned Grand Cathay. I picked Ogre Kingdoms, banned Kislev, so now I'm waiting to see if I'm fighting Bretonnia or Beastmen. Greenskins is okay here. Probably. I haven't played it versus Bretonnia at all, so I'm just worried about, like, walking into a matchup I've never played and getting fucking murdered. I'll go with Ogres. I have a very well, okay. I don't want to say this in case Stingers is in the chat. Not that it's cheating. Like, I have a blocker up, it's fine, but I probably shouldn't reveal my entire strategy before he picks this thing. So, 1 second. I'll wait for him to pick before I finish that thought, because otherwise he might... he might pick the faction I'm less confident in. Because one of these two I'm pretty confident at fighting. I've fought them a lot. Warriors of Chaos? I'm a dog shit Warriors of Chaos player. I'm very bad. It's probably a good pick here, but I just, like, don't play it well at all. Alright, good, he went Beastmen. So I've played a lot of Ogre Kingdoms Beastmen. I was hoping he wouldn't pick Bretonnia. Now, I had some ideas on how to fight Bretonnia with Ogres, but I'd rather do something I've practiced myself than fight something with a theory craft, but I've played versus Beastmen a ton. So let me just get my build all set up here. What's missing now? I have all that. Well, whatever. Let's just finish it out, then see what's up. Oh, I think I took you. But why? Why bother? Because I'm trying to remember my old build for this. Because I have my core. Behind the blocker, I have my core, and now I'm like, what do I do with the rest of my money? Oh, yeah, I can have those. Okay. Yeah. We know what's up again. Okay, we got those. 50 gold left. $50 gold. That's cringe. Sure. Oh, that's where the 50 gold came from. My bad. I grabbed the wrong spells. There we go. That's the old build. That's it! Why didn't we just get the build right from the start? God, we're stupid. We're stupid. Double Stormhorn incoming. Listen, hey. You can't just reveal my strategies on stream. You think Beastman's really good at Ogre Kingdoms, though? I beat Butcherbird in this matchup. Butcherbird is a very good Beastman player. Have a little faith. Jesus Christ. It's dog shit. It's unwinnable. You're a piece of garbage. Wow. Chat's popping off. What the fuck? What wins, Beastman Giant or Ogre Kingdoms Giant? Beastman Giant. Nah. You played perfectly. I played perfectly. Ogres won because they're a better faction. Gotta win one of the next 2 games. Shouldn't be that hard. GS's bird. I didn't DOS shit. I just said bird. I didn't do nothing. What happens if both sides took double giants? Then that is peak entertainment. GS? Yeah. That's fair. I mean, I feel like I have a slightly different philosophy on Ogre Kingdoms than a lot of people. But I kind of always have. Again, you want to talk while you're in the loading screen, but I don't want to tell my opponent what I'm bringing. So I'll wait. I don't know what other... but that's also the thing, is I don't know what other Ogre Kingdoms players are bringing here. Because when I look at Ogres, I see this as probably the best way to play them in this matchup. But I don't know. Now that we're loading in, some people really like Crushers still, and I'm just like, I've never been about that Crusher life. But after all the nerfs that playstyle took, I'm just like, why bother? Beastmen have Traderkin, Beastmen have Centaurs with throwing axes, Beastmen have Minotaurs with great weapons. It's just like, your Crushers are just going to get outnumbered and dragged down. I tend to go super wide. Yibby Ziviton with the 1,000 Glook of home with the game. Here's hoping one day Warhammer 3 gets to collaborate with your Honkai Star Rail, Guardian Tales, or Black Souls. Either one of these 3 would be great for CA. I want them to release skins for factions. Like the Ogre Kingdoms get like a Sailor Moon type skin. So then you get these big ogres with their bellies sticking out, dressed up in sailor suits. So, anyway. Ogres, I like to go super wide with them. And Noblar Trappers, I always grab 5 in every single matchup. Because you can use them as archers or as chaff. It really doesn't matter. They're good at doing both. And even at 500 gold, I still think they constantly pay for themselves. We have some Iron Guts. I will deploy them on my flanks because Centaurs don't usually have armor piercing. And if he goes with Centaurs of Tzeentch or Centaurs with great weapons, then that's a larger investment from him. And I can deal with it when I deal with it. Other than that, we're going to rush his ass down with mass. And I do have a bunch of Ogre Bulls for such mass things. But then we have Sabertooth packs. Legend of Total Wars here. Quick, flip back to campaign. Flip back to campaign. Don't let him see that we're playing multiplayer. Against his best wishes. Legend sat me down. He had to talk with me. He was like, listen, son. Listen. You're talented. You're gorgeous. You're amazing at this video game. But you're playing shit-ass multiplayer and wasting your talent. So I'll help you out, but only if you promise to play campaign. And I looked him in the eyes. Beautiful eyes. And I lied to his face and said, sure, dude, I'll play campaign. Sure, fam. I'll play campaign, don't you worry. Alright, what are we doing here? Gotta group up my Iron Guts, and then everything else is a frontline rush. Ooh, but I don't want the... Don't want you guys lobbed up with those. Then another thing I do, I have Toothcracker for some armor and missile resistance, and then I have Brain Gobbler. I think Troll Guts is a bait. I think Troll Guts is the baitiest bait that's ever baited. It's a fine spell, but like, I don't know. With my build going super wide, there's no one thing for me to heal. It's like, what am I going to Troll Guts? One Iron Gut? Oh, wow. That's so cool. That's amazing, human boy. So I really like to just use Brain Gobbler on Beastmen since they're already a low leadership faction. Get them to start routing and then charge up Ogre Kingdom's passive by chasing them off the map. It's pretty good stuff. Multiplayer? Ew. No, this is campaign. What? No. I'm playing Alethanar. Yeah, that's it. I'm playing Alethanar. Whew, saved it. They almost thought we were playing multiplayer. That would be a disaster. What up, people joining from Legend? We are, in fact, playing our Warpstone Cup games, which is our big world tournament type deal. I'm playing against Stingers. We are in game 2 currently. Okay. So, we're going to get flanked, and he does have some Centaurs of Tzeentch, so I need to back off with my Iron Guts and feed Ogre Bulls into the Centaurs of Tzeentch for now. Because the Ogre Bulls will still do fine, the armor piercing of the Centaurs is going to get completely wasted. Which is good for me. I'll have one Ogre Bull go around, while the Iron Gut come up through here. He has Pestigors holding it down. Well, yeah. That's a little annoying. But we'll countercharge over here. This is a mistake by me. I have way too many resources over here. Now, to be fair to myself, most of his army was frickin' hidden. I couldn't exactly see where they all were, but still. Should have deployed a little better. Okay, Iron Guts can go get that. You guys are chasing that down. Nobbler Trappers have done their jobs. Now they can turn around and support the Centaur flank that's going on. As we continue to do this. We're going to rear charge over here, actually. Just to get those guys to maybe break. And I have an Iron Gut somewhere that I left behind because good job me. Good job leaving them all on their own. Okay, we'll rear charge over here. I'm going to butcher those Iron Guts. Just try and keep them a little healthier than you'd expect. It'd be annoying, but there we go. There we go. That's a nice big break. So we have Sabertusk chasing down this stuff. Nobblars chasing down this stuff. And now those guys can go chase a whole bunch of things to get me a ton of army passive. These Iron Guts traded way up with Centaurs and Tzeentch. Centaurs of Tzeentch, I should say. Get a Toothcracker down. Retreat behind this. Let's cause some terror over here. And I'm also going to cast... Don't have any good targets for my leadership debuff spell, so I'm not going to cast it for now. Okay, Sabertusk Pax can run down that archer. Our Nobblars can do some of the other work here. But falling back to our Nobblar Trappers. I've gotten into a bad situation, though. Like I said, with that frontline engagement, I forgot some Iron Guts, and then I got my archers way overextended into nothing, so... Yeah, just making some key mistakes that are really costing me right now. That Sabertusk is so wounded, it can keep chasing down those guys, that's fine. One thing I do have to say is that Malagor is a pretty fraudulent use of Balance of Power. I'm not going to care about him for, like, the entire game. Let's fall back away from those Minos that are coming in. We'll push up with our little guys here. The Butch Calvin are coming for our little guys here. Okay. You gotta get some archers up and at them. Minos are in. Still have one healthy Iron Gut that can maybe get over here. Nobody's really low on leadership. Maybe with the charge coming in. That could change. Okay, those are shattered, so not really worth chasing anymore. Just come over here. We have an Iron Gut that's very healthy right now. I'm going to preemptively butcher him just to keep him in the fight for now. Try and keep that going for him. Give these guys some armor and missile resistance, too. Let's get a downhill charge from these guys. Iron Guts are somewhere over here. You have archers back that need to throw at the Minos while they still can. Dogs with a rear charge on this Pestigore should break them immediately, and then they could just roll up to the archers. But yeah, things are looking pretty bad. Those early game misplays costing me quite a lot. I'm going to try and get these Pestigores to rout from a rear charge from me so that I get my archers back online. As my nearly full health Iron Guts do tear her out. That's not ideal. In come the dogs. Pestigores are routing, so let's get our Ogre Bulls to charge downhill into those archers. These archers are trying to kite it out. And I do have some Iron Guts at the top of the hill, ready to rejoin the battle. But man, we are living our best life on army passive, which is exactly what this build's designed to do, and it is doing it, I suppose. Alright, Iron Guts, get a downhill charge onto this guy. You charge the Centaurs and slow them down so that they can't realize what's happening before it's too late. Okay, Nala Trappers, everybody else come back. Separatist packs, stay on those Minos. They're overextended right now, and we could really use that. I'll try and route them, but it's looking tough. Give us some armor, as these basic Centaurs are charging in. They don't have armor piercing, so it's fine. And there we go, with the leadership debuff, it looks like we're going to be able to get rid of those Minos just fine. Okay, we got rid of those. It's getting dicey. We put in a good fight, but it is turning into just the Butcher's Guard and Malagor. Everything else in the battlefield doesn't matter, but that also means everything on my side doesn't matter. I don't have anything left, so his Butchers are going to be able to clean up. It's going to be GG. It was a good fight, though. It was a good scrap. I really needed to just stop and assess and rekindle my battle lines back to what they should have been, rather than kind of take a sideways engagement. That was stupid. That was stupid and dumb by old Hummus. But we did alright. GG's. GG's, sir. This is exactly how Beastmen vs. Solar Kingdoms I thought it would go. It was going pretty good. Like I said, I massively screwed up the first engagement. It came down to just the Butcher's Guard and Malagor versus my lord. Yeah. I still think it's a fine matchup if I played it correctly. GG, sir. Let's get the 1-1. Last map is Eshin. And I'll check in with chat. Hi, chat. Hi, Battlesy. We have 1,000 people now. That's a few. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Legend rated us. If you don't know who we are, hi. Hi. It's good to meet you. If you're thinking about leaving, I refuse to let that happen. Oh no! Oh no! My camera disconnected. There, it's back. Okay, so I can't bring the camera to you. Puppy! Puppy! You gotta say hi to the camera! Oh, so sleepy. So sleepy. Where's the cat? Neither of my animals are around when I need them. Very well. Yeah, we do land battle streams, land battle video reviews and stuff like that. Do some co-op campaign stuff, like we did a couple co-op campaigns with Radiant Ash. That was fun. Do some co-op campaigns with my Discord server with various challenges to them. All sorts of variety Warhammer content, so you should think about checking that out. Any Khorne games? Yeah, there's been a few. Not this stream, because this stream just started. We're on game 2. Well, now game 3 of this stream. You look convincingly human. I might just be human. Anyway, you should think about subscribing, sticking around. We're fun. We're good. If you don't want to, then that's also fine. I'll just judge you. What, a sleeper will bite you? They wouldn't do that. Waiting on Stingers to do his picks. I'm gonna go see if I can round up the cat. Well, no, that's not smart. Because then you'll all leave. Multiplayer looks fun? It is fun. It's a fun time. It's a good time. Start game 3 of Riot? It's Stingers' pick. It's Stingers' pick. I just work here, dude. Tell them all about the Warpstone Cup. I feel like I did. But yeah, we have the Warpstone Cup. You can see it on the blocker right now. That big yellow trophy thing. The player who wins the whole tournament wins that. Then there's 4 Skaven plushies. First place gets first pick out of those plushies that they want sent to them. And I will send it. And then second place gets second pick. Third place gets third pick. And fourth place gets whatever one is left. We will be doing stream with CA in early July for the finals of this. So this tournament will go throughout June to get our top 8, and then top 8 should all be live on the Total War YouTube channel. Stingers picks Kislev and Nurgle. Okay, what do I want to play against Kislev and Nurgle? Honestly, it might be Skaven o'clock. Just because it's game 3 and I'm down. I don't know what else could fight Kislev. I mean, Skaven isn't a great choice versus Kislev, but it's something. Let's fucking do it, Skaven! Still the Vermin League ladder? Oh, shield the Vermin League ladder. Yeah, if you're worried, if you're like, dude, I want to get into multiplayer, but the ranked matchmaking sucks, you can go to our server. Hold on. Alright. Come with me. You can go to our server. Yep. Block my build. Where we have this bot that if you match with someone, it gives you 3 maps and then just tells you the rules of our Discord, like don't pick these things because they're toxic and shitty and awful. Like if you're sick of playing multiplayer and you run into the Thunder Barge every single game, or you run into 2 Empire land ships sitting in the corner, all this paragraph says is, hey, don't be an asshole, right? And it does filter through a leaderboard. As you play people and win, you get stacked up on a leaderboard. We also run a bunch of tournaments. Tequila Sunset runs them, I run them, Lucy runs them. All that stuff. Some of them are tryhard, some of them are silly. So, yeah. If you're like, I want to play multiplayer, but man, ranked matchmaking sucks, our server's got you, dude. We got all the hookups. Alright, he's going Kislev. Kislev versus Skaven. I insist this matchup sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get on with it. What to do against the Kislevites? You run tournaments on your channel too? Hell yeah, you do. You do great. The hard part about this is all of his cavalry and those chariots. The heavy war sleds. Kislev's just very difficult to deal with. And if you go weapons teams like Jezzails or something, you can just use Kossovite dervishes and throw them at you with their suicidal tendencies. And then they'll pop their Buyer Blood Unbreakable and just run over your Jezzails anyway. This can be a little tricky. Spirit of the Gorg, hello. Thanks, Spirit of the Gorg. Just bring Rattlings and Hellpit Abominations. Oh! Okay. Just lose. Yeah, we can just lose. I'm down. I'm down to just lose. Seems fine. Gutter Runners and Night Runners also suck versus Kislev because they have heavy cav. Hell Pit Abomination low-key good here. Dude, what are you talking about? All their infantry has ranged attacks. It's just gonna die. No, that's the most troll thing I've heard in my entire life. I've heard a lot of troll things. That is the most. Alright, what if we do something like this? I mean, what if... No. But that's... Wait, you can't. But then, what if... No! No! It's not possible. It's too much power. It's not enough power, actually. Oh, this is shit. Everything's shit. This is all garbage. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just die, I suppose. Good enough. What up, Scott MC? The Warp Lightning Cannon's good here. It can be, but if they take Little Grob, he'll outshoot me. And the map is medium-sized with a bunch of forests and hills, so Warp Lightning Cannons aren't even going to get a good line of sight. So the map does make that rather difficult. Weapons teams are difficult to go with, because Kosovo Dervishes with their Unbreakable can just dive onto your backline. So it's like Warp Lightning Cannons are difficult to bring, weapons teams are difficult to bring. Skirmish is difficult to bring because they have so much counterfire, but also a shielded front line, but also heavy cav, which Night Runners are good at dealing with light cav, but not heavy cav. David Johnson, you don't see the battle? Yeah, it's but the blocker is stopping you from seeing my build, so my opponent also can't see my build. Because that would be bad. Throt Gaming? No. No. Not at all. Wasn't sure what the setup was. We're happy to have you, dude. We're happy to have you. This is game 3 of the best of 3. If you're sick of waiting, don't worry. This is the only live game, and then I have a whole bunch of replays we can cast. So those would be back-to-back-to-back-to-back constant action. But we thought we'd start off the stream with our best of 3 live where I'm fighting stingers. Poor Throt is so bad. He's pretty bad. He's pretty ass. I wish Legend of Total War was man enough to face you. I've been trying. I've been trying. I challenged Legend to a 1v1 IRL fisticuffs in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and he didn't respond to that message. I sent it to him in the mail. I assume it got there. A very nice kangaroo tucked it into its pouch and hopped off into the wilderness, so I assume it got there. Like, that's the Australian code. What changes do you want made for the upcoming patch? Nerf healing? Either nerf Kislev, Empire, Dwarfs, Grand Cathay, Tzeentch, and Bretonnia, or buff every faction I didn't just list. Because right now the top tiers are getting very much better than the bottom tiers. It's getting a little spread out. With gloves or without? I would have gloves, but he would not. One v1 Final Destination, no items, Star Fox only. Did you write upside down? Otherwise, he might not be able to read it. I didn't. Fuck. That's why he never responded. He's like, what's this gobbledygook? And just threw it away. Nerf SEM healing or just healing? Healing in general is really fucking strong. Yeah. Stingers is thinking it through. Are we allowed to see her screen? Yeah, when the battle starts, I'll take the blocker down. But for now, it's just blocking my army so that my opponent can't literally just look at the stream, see what I'm bringing, bring the counters, and then defeat me. That'd be bad. Grundle Master? Yeah, he's gonna become a father. He's gonna kick ass at it. Does Lord of Hag still have OP spells? No, they mostly suck. Start game 3, right? Dude, I'm ready! I'm sitting here ready to... Don't yell at me. Look at that. Look at that check mark. Look at the fact that my screen is slightly gray. I've been ready. You're hoping tanks and ships become mechanical so you can't get healed with light magic? That would be very good. Leave the picture on during the battle, I dig it. Yeah. Are you assuming your opponent's not a gentleman? It's not as much about my opponent not being a gentleman as it is just about, like, being smart about this. Because I have, like, sometimes, even on for fun streams, gone without a blocker. And then if you load into the game and the enemy has the perfect stuff to beat yours, you just get salty and you wonder if they did stream snipe you, and it makes me really paranoid and just kind of a bitch. So I prefer not to be a bitch. So if I have the blocker up, then I know they couldn't have seen my army, and I know I just got unlucky. Oh boy, let's go. Stinger's losing me the viewers. I also just think that it's like 1,000+ people that like Legend of Total War, and they got plopped onto some random guy's stream, and they're like, this is kind of neat, but like, not my jam, and then left. It's also viable. Alright, Kislev versus Skaven. So, what are we doing here? We do have some Night Runners just to provide some flank infantry to help me try and deal with cavalry. 4 Rat Ogres to also help me try and deal with cavalry, or to punch through the front line. 2 Wolf Rats to also help me with cavalry. As long as they don't get straight up charged by the Cosmic Dervishes, we should be fine. 2 Jezzails to shoot at Little Grom, or to shoot at infantry, though I'm suspecting this Kislevite build probably isn't going to have like a crazy amount of infantry. We'll see. 4 Globes, they're very good against cavalry, but they're also solid against infantry, and my main problem in this matchup is going to be cavalry. In case you haven't noticed me say that multiple times, that is going to be a big, big deal. And then we have Ikit Claw, just the best Skaven Lord right now. Tanky as far as Skaven go, mobile, causes terror, and then Flensing Ruin to deal with blobs or single entities of any kind. He also has Brass Orb to help me clear out that front line. But we're not going to challenge his front line. The problem with the Kislevite front line in this matchup is, like, you can beat the Kislev front line, but in a lot of scenarios, they just don't bring one. And then it's a giant pain in the ass. Like, if you bring Death Runners, sure, you'll slap anything they bring for a front line, but a lot of people playing against Skaven just try and, like, hard kite you or cav rush you. So odds are is there aren't even going to be armored Kossars at all for you to deal with. So you need to bring something to deal with armored Kossars. You can't, like, bet it all on, there's going to be 5 armored Kossars I can cut through and get to the back line. Alright, told my opponent I'm ready. We're good whenever. This is honestly just a pretty balanced, regular Skaven build for when I don't know what's coming towards me. We have a little bit of everything to deal with a little bit of everything. How does this beat Cav Rush? You got no clue. That is the most concerning thing. But that's always the most concerning thing in this matchup. How do your camera movements look so much smoother? I have the debug camera setting on, which there's like a whole video that tells you how to do. I think Milk and Cookies posted it. Alright, he has more infantry than I honestly would have expected. Which is fine. Tempest Caster with Hawks to abuse my low leadership. Cosmic Dervishes and Griffin Legions to abuse my leadership. And then a bunch of Armored Kossars. Okay, that's fine. So we just want to get our Jezzails in position to start shooting at Kossars. The globes are going to have to deal with the cavalry. Globes will deal with the cavalry, hopefully. One of those dervishes. Okay. Alright, so the Jezzails are starting to poke, which means he's on a timer to get his ass in here. Is that a Hawks? Hawks of Miska going through my Jezzails. Alright. Globes move up and throw out this Griffin Legion. I will also move up. Try and help deal with the Griffin Legion. And in come the dervishes. Okay, time to earn your keep, Rat Ogres. Alright, Brass Orb myself, as Zicket tries to get himself out of a sticky situation. We'll move some of these guys up. Cav are coming. There's by our blood. But even though they're by our blooded, they still, killed an awful lot of things. Alright. So that dervish is essentially toast. So we can just move on. But yeah. Unbreakable Cav is a bit of a pain in the ass. No one is shocked. Okay. So our globes are just completely surrounded by Kislevite Cav. And I'm getting a strong sense that anybody who constantly argues with me and says Skaven is good into Kislev, oh, Skaven's so good into Kislev, you just don't know how to play them, is a lying piece of shit. Because this feels as terrible as it usually does. GG. That is a 2-1 to Stingers. And a rest in peace to the Skaven. Should have brought more Storm Vermin? Nah, dude. Kislev moment. No, but like, serious, like 100% serious for a second. People actually tell me Skaven is good into Kislev, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then like something like this happens, and they're like, no, you just played it wrong. Cause like look at this. What are Kislev, like, Kislev can go with what he just did. They can go mass cavalry that have a leadership debuff, and they have a leadership debuff spell. Or you could go Lord Sniping with Death Frost. Or you could go heal spam with Castalton, and he has flaming attacks, so you can beat his healing. You can kite the Skaven with Akshina Ambushers. You can just walk up with Archer's Pike and Shot, like he was kind of doing there. Or you can Cav Rush like he did. Or you can Single Entity Rush. Or you can kite with Little Grob. Or you can kite with Horse Archers. Or you can charge with Heavy War Sleds. What can Skaven do there? What is this Skaven counter Kislev bullshit some people are saying? Need more Doom Wheels? Nah, dude. Told you to bring the Abominations, would have at least been funny. They still would have fucking lost. GG's to Stingers, GG's. And we'll get on to casting some other games. We'll get on to casting the other games. Let me just report my loss to my group leader. Because their cavalry, if you didn't know, their cavalry has a leadership debuff tied to it. So when you hit something, even if it's a frontal charge, if you hit something with it, it just leadership debuffs you and you lose. Who's managing me? It's Ryder of Rohan. Yep. So GG. GG. I definitely got punished for not being up to practice on... Sorry, I just need to set up something. I definitely got punished for not being up to practice on the meta factions, because my faction pool, I listed it earlier, but I don't have Bretonnia in my faction pool. I don't have Grand Cathay in my faction pool. I don't have Dark Elves, which are not OP anymore, but they're still pretty strong. My Tzeentch is okay, but it was banned there. So, like, I don't have Lizardmen in my faction pool. So my faction pool doesn't have a lot of the really, really strong things, which does limit me quite a lot. I have some good factions, like Ogre Kingdoms and Greenskins and stuff. So let's get on with the replays. What do we have here? Let's pop in with some Chosen One versus Pigman. I only put the blocker up so that you can't see how many replays there are, whether you'll know if it's a 2 or 3 game series. Pigman 202 versus ODM's Chosen One. Empire versus Bretonnia. The rest of the stream will go pretty fast. There will be no waiting for build phases, as these are all replays that have been submitted to me ahead of time. For Pigman's build, we have Imperials, a flagellant front line of completely unbreakable troops, Spearmen, Empire Knights. We do have one engineer on the ground, a steam tank with a volley gun. The engineer is just here for restock to give that tank more ammo. Karl Franz in the sky with a Jade Wizard also in the sky. On the other side for Chosen One in Bretonnia, we have Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm, Questing Knights, Grail Knights too? There we are. So like one of every kind of knight. Lewin and Hippogriff Knights up in the sky, and then Mounted Yeomen on the flank. And already the Empire is getting charged by these guys. Looks like the Spearmen tried to stop and brace, but I'm not sure how effective it was. Bretonnia also brought some random peasants, one archer, and then a Damsel of Life. Not shocking stuff there. Bretonnia was just poking out for a little bit of free damage. They are going to back off, and the Empire has very few cavalry with which to fight back, but it looks like over here, Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm, neither of them have armor piercing. Neither do the Empire Knights, but with Franz running around, they're running from Franz. They're not running from the Empire Knights. Chosen One is trying to back off and get to safety. I'm getting a bunch of pings. What's it about? Okay, it's Stingers. I'll answer him later. But Franz lands in and already gets a big shot onto the Knights of the Realm, even actually getting them close to terror routing, to be honest. Questing Knights take a big bunch of damage over there. Grail Knights also trying to help out, but fighting the Empire Knights on top of all those flagellants just isn't working out. So they are going to back off. I'm a little worried about Bretonnia if that fight's already going that poorly. Franz getting away from these Knights of the Realm at this point. Looks like his buffs were off and he just didn't really want to stay here for too long. I can get that. Oh, he was running from Lewin and the Hippogriffs. It had nothing to do with the Knights of the Realm. I see. Lewin is in and the Hippogriffs are getting rid of Franz, but I wouldn't be shocked if they turn around and swoop in behind these Empire Knights and just get a big surround over here. Looks like that's what they're doing now. Mounted Yeomen also coming in to do the same thing. In the distance, Questing Knights have still taken a lot of damage. It looks like they're getting constantly poked by the Engineer and the Steam Tank Volley Gun while running away from the Empire Knights or whatever, but you'd rather them take the damage than the Grail Knights. Grail Knights are definitely more important for your game plan there. Bretonnia is trying to use the most of their mobility advantage, getting Knights Errant charging around there. Exactly what we thought was going to happen happened as the Royal Hippogriff Knights and everything else charge in here. Terror routes out, and this pocket of the Empire is destroyed. Probably just leave everything else but the Mounted Yeomen. Run over here, do some good stuff. As Grail Knights are getting currently worked down by the Hellblaster Volley Gun, Steam Tank. These guys have already lost almost half their HP, and no amount of healing is going to bail them out of that as they start to run away. They are ITP, so they can't terror out, but they almost wish they had, just to get them out of here, because they're getting murdered. Flagellants will get rear charged by some of the Questing Knights as they try and get some stuff done. But Lewin and the boys are coming over to say hello. I will say, I think the Hippogriff Knights and stuff, they're overcommitting over here. Like, they're staying too long in a fight that they've already won. They have other things to be doing. Balance of power is very even right now as Grail Knights get routed off. Questing Knights close to that point as well. And Lewin's thinking about diving down onto Franz. And while he is like kind of a comparable duelist to Franz, he's better in the long run, while Franz is more bursty with his like abilities when they're up. I don't know about diving onto Franz. If I hit this, you can see there's not a red unit in sight. He has no one helping him out. as he fights the steam tank. But Franz doesn't want any of that. Gets away as the Hippogriff Knights are coming over to say hello. I don't know if they'll get Franz. Looks like they're trying to block him up a little bit, but they instead just move over to help out Lewin a little bit more. Empire front line is winning across the board. Bretonia's flanks are winning, of course, because they had like 600 cavalry to 2 Empire Knights. Not that shocking, though. Pigman's Empire Knights are still pretty healthy. Well, not the one that's dead, but this other one is fine, as it chases Grail Knights off the map. And Lewin and the boys are committing over here. Looks like they just want to take a fight with Franz on this side as they start to get a good surround. Also going to hit the Jade Wizard, which is pretty good. This close to the edge of the map where the Empire ended up taking this fight. Oh, this is huge. If they can snipe out the Jade Wizard, that's gigantic. He tries to cast a regrowth on himself, but it is way too late. And now if they just follow him, he'll take himself off the map, and that is no healing for the Empire. Very important, as Franz and the Steam Tank all need healing. Franz is actually recommitting to this fight. Now that his healing is gone, I think he's just trying to hold the Hippogriff Knights in place for the Engineer, but that could be a big mistake, as we see he loses about a third of his HP bar, just like that. And Lewin does finish taking out the Wizard, so Bretonnia feeling good about that. Meanwhile, on the far side, some Flagellants are just getting completely pounded by these Knights. It doesn't matter that they're next to the white line. They're unbreakable. They're not going anywhere, but they are still taking a lot of damage. Peasants and Spearmen fighting in the distance. No one cares about that. We still have 2 Mounted Yeomen who are full health, though they're just a unit that chases off stuff that's already routing. They're not really a unit that actually does any DPS of any kind. Blake's Takes is here. What up, dude? How you doing? And Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights are trying to find a home, but they are on a timer. Every second they aren't in a fight means they're getting poked by the Engineer and the Steam Tank with the volley guns. So I don't know what they're going to do. Bretonia's ahead on the balance of power, though I'm not as confident. That Flagellant's almost dead. Another Flagellant taking a lot of damage. This is going fine, but Bretonnia lost their Grail Knights. They've already taken a good amount of damage. Looks like the Hippogriff Knights and Lewin going to jump back onto these Flagellants who were left behind, but it's like free-ish damage, but who cares? As now the Steam Tank that just got restocked, you see it's back to full ammunition, is following these guys around, is going to keep shooting at them wherever they try and land. And I like the little turret keeps pointing at them. It's just kind of like, yeah, what? Say something else. As it drives alongside him, gets a couple shots here and there. Quick little Earth Blood onto some of the Knights of the Realms. They continue to fight against these Flagellants and more Mounted Yeomen coming to the back area. Still have 1 Peasant Bow and Pox Arrows that's completely fine. And this Empire Knight is recalibrating, running away from Mounted Yeomen, though I bet it's actually running away from, you know, Archer Fire and all that stuff. And is the Steam Tank out of position? It looks like Lewin might think so. He's going for a quick dive attack onto it. Gets a little bit of damage. Remember, all damage counts now that the Life Wizard is gone. But speaking of all damage counting, the Hippogriff Knights have been taking a lot, though this is a beautiful rear charge from them onto the Empire Knights. Going to cause terror any second now, and they're getting a regrowth. They're at 11 out of 12 models, still feeling pretty good about their situation, and that is a huge break from the side of the Empire on, well, from the side of Bretonnia onto the Empire. If those Empire Knights actually turn into a rout, then Mounted Yeomen can just walk them off the map. That looks like it's just going to be a terror rout. They do rally and come back, and then Franz is in with Reichel and Runefang to give them all better stats. And the Hippogriff Knights are going to start to take some serious damage, but the Bretonians are back in, charging which this way and that. And Lewin's still trying to keep up with that Steam Tank that just left him behind. Big engagement here from Bretonnia. Everything's on the line. Can they win out? Karl's down to half HP. And falling. The Empire Knights only held together by the Reichel and Runefang. Without it, their leadership would be too low, and they would rout away. There's the Sword of Corone. But even with a bit of an Earthblood, the Royal Hippogriff Knights are still thinking about routing, which is insane. You're above half HP! You're above half HP! Where are you going? Where are you going, you cowardly fucks? You get back here! Bretonnia needs you! You get back here, you pieces of shit! So the Royal Hippogriff Knights randomly abandon Lewin, and now the Master Engineer is going to try and just follow them off the map, take them all the way into the map when they routed, which was some shit! Which was some shit! Lewin is beating up on Franz. Empire's down on the balance of power, but if the Hippogriff Knights go off the map, that is everything. That is probably the game, because then your DPS is literally just Lewin. Everything else for the Bretonnia here is like a Mounted Yeoman, for God's sakes. This is a best of 3? Hell yeah! They'll all be best of 3s. Alright, well, Hippogriffs are off the map, and all of a sudden the balance power is like, wait a second. Lewin's still chasing Franz. Lewin should probably take this moment to try and dive the Master Engineer, who's surrounded by Mounted Yeomen and getting a little stuck. It looks like he is going to. Because if you can take him out, I mean, at least get rid of the restocks for the Hellblaster tank. And the Hellblaster tank without any ammunition, it got another restock. Hellblaster tank without any ammo can't take Lewin at all. Yeah, look at Lewin just deleting this little engineer. The little engineer that could. He's going to tear out any second. It looks like Franz wants some beef, which I'm not sure Franz actually does. I mean, he's coming in. I just don't know if he should want it. I wonder if he has all of his buffs up, and that's what he's going for. Is the engineer routes right next to the white line now. So, oh no, the mounted yeomen are going. Yeah, God forbid, the mounted yeomen are going. The mounted yeomen are gone, guys. What will we do? What will Bretonnia do? Engineer is out. Franz down to 2,000 HP. The steam tank is still fighting Lewin, and Lewin has his own source of healing, not that he needs it, really. Damsel of Life is out here. Is there anything worth healing? We still have some questing knights who are stuck fighting Empire knights who were allowed to rally. They came back to get a fight. If the questing knights could get a regrowth, that would be pretty huge, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So it is Lewin versus this entire army. I guess we'll heal up mounted yeomen? I guess? Archer's still firing away, applying a little bit of poison, and the questing knights are still in it. Can the questing knights get any healing? No, they are also going to rout. It looks like both parties will go off the map. Nope, Empire knights choose to go on the inside route, while the questing knights go on the outside route. Rip Bretonnia. They really can't get any breaks here, but Franz is dangerously low. Mounted yeomen take a frontal charge with him. Reichlin Runefang is popped, and the steam tank keeps Lewin at bay, literally body blocking for Franz as it pushes Lewin sideways away. And then Franz actually going to opt into this fight after taking some damage. I don't know what just hit him there, but something hit him real good. Lewin gets another shot off. Franz, I don't know if you want this smoke. I don't know if you want this, son. As a regrowth comes in, the healing is nice, but Lewin can provide his own healing. It's mostly the vigor that we want since he was exhausted. Now he's up to very tired. He's beaten up on Franz. Sword of Corona's down. Reichlin Runefang's down. The Mounted Yeomen are back in to abuse the Franz with the low melee defense. Can the Mounted Yeomen get it done? 600 HP for the Emperor of Man, and he is dead! He is gone! He is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Now count with me. Boom! Steam Tank, leadership debuff. Boom! Flagellants, leadership debuff. Leadership debuff for all these flagellants. All those unbreakable units, they're unbreakable minus 10. Minus 10 leadership on those unbreakable boys. Oh, wait. A whole build's unbreakable. It don't matter. But still taking out Franz, you know, armor-piercing duels. It's good stuff. Peasant Bowmen fighting to the last. Shooting their last arrows, trying to kite away. As Lewin is harassing the little steam tank that could. It has 18 shots left, though it does go through that ammo much quicker than you would expect. Damsel of Life was terror-routed for a moment. She will return. Mounted Yeomen are routed off for a second. They will return, and she needs to use any Earthblood she has on herself and those Mounted Yeomen as they're going to charge back into these 7 poor, hapless flagellants. Killing some Mounted Yeomen in the process, but mostly just dying. Mostly just flagellants dying. Lewin is stalking around, slowly regenerating up to his heal cap, as Bretonnia does get a little bit more healing off with the Earthblood. Their last Peasant Bowman is routed off the face of the earth. We do have a half-health Spearman. We have a bunch of very wounded flagellants, and a steam tank at 80% HP, running low on ammunition. For Bretonnia, they're rallying some Spearmen and some Peasant mobs of their own. If they can really slow this game down and get some good healing on them, that'll be fine. Now, thankfully for you and me, we're in replay land. We can hit this little button. Whee! Bretonnia is going to run out and try and get rid of these spearmen while they still can. They're buying time. Time is on their side. The Empire has a finite amount of ammunition, no magic, nothing like that. The longer Bretonnia can stall, depending on how much winds of magic they have left, they can even heal up their spears and maybe get these guys to stand a chance of holding so that the Mounted Yeomen and Lewin can cycle charge their way through the flagellants. In comes the final fight. There's a steam tank gunning down some peasant mobs, and Lewin lands in first to try and take some of the onus out of the flagellant charge. Flagellants cannot tear out away from Lewin. Spearmen can, but so can the Spearmen at Arms as they're tear routing and routing away from the steam tank. Lewin does not get a lot of shots off, and the steam tank's just ignoring him. It's trying to take out all of his support and fight and force Lewin to take a fight on its infantry with no help, but it does eventually have to turn and fight its down. It takes a big old chunk from Lewin. It doesn't look like Lewin actually wants to stay in this fight. Now he's thinking about it. There's a little Earthblood, but it's just going to hit the Damsel. It doesn't quite hit the Mounted Yeomen. They weren't on their way in when it was cast. The Damsel shatters as well, but the Bretonnians are still up on the balance of power based off of just Lewin. The Mounted Yeomen get terror routed into a normal route away. Lewin is stuck fighting, though the Flagellants aren't looking too good. Spearman also having a bit of a tough time. We are getting a Spearman at Arms back. The Damsel's shattered, so there's no more healing left for Bretonnia, though, again, Lewin can't get it, so who cares. Mounted Yeomen, do you go all the way off the map? Do you abandon your king? Yes, you do, you cowardly fucks! Lewin is back in Sword of Corone down, lowering all these guys' melee defense stats. Not that that helps him, really. He has such a high melee attack compared to frickin' Flagellants that it doesn't matter. Spearmen at Arms are back. They should be resistant to Terror for a little bit, since they literally just Terror routed. They should be able to hold back the tide of Flagellants for a hot second, but they're at 0 leadership, so Terror or no Terror, they just leave the old normal way. And Lewin is still trying to chase down the steam tank, harass it. He's having a tough go of things. It only has 7 shots left. It's not the shots that are a problem. It's that Lewin has to sit in all these Flagellants and Spearmen and all these other things he doesn't want to do. Catches back up to it, gets a little chomp onto its side, but he is getting slowly poked down by all these things following him. It sucks. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm not saying there's an easy, obvious solution. The Chosen One probably just has to stop and kill these infantry because he's taking so much damage following Pigman's steam tank around everywhere that he needs to just, fucking kill these guys. So he's getting some good shots in. The steam tank is about to get some distance and turn around and just shoot his ass. So it's looking bad. It's looking bad. In comes a big old volley. Lewin takes a little more damage. His leadership is faltering. Balance of power is going back towards the middle. He's about to tear out the Spearmen, so there'll be no more anti-large versus him, but he's still taking a lot of damage from that steam tank. 2 volleys left. It's tearing through shots. Can Lewin's leadership hold? He's charging into the steam tank. It can fire in melee, so that doesn't matter too much as it finally takes the real shot with him. Flagellants are charging up from behind. Lewin is in it now, but everything here is unbreakable. He just has to flat out kill it. Takes so much damage from the steam tank volley at point blank range. It does still have 2 shots left, so it must not have been one of those volleys. It might have been one of the several other things the steam tank can do. Flagellants are super low, but so is Lewin. He's now going to get rear charged by spears. He's still going after that steam tank, really trying to take it down. I just don't know. I don't know if he can. Here's your petition to give Lewin a Mortis engine. Lewin is getting a lot of charges around, but if you watch his HP, it's just as we saw before, whenever he has to walk through those infantry, he's just taking so much damage and not getting a ton onto the steam tank in return. That's why it's a terrible choice either way, but it is, probably the objectively right choice is just to kill the infantry. But I think he loses no matter what, as his leadership falters too much, and Lewin is gone. Pigman, Franz did okay. Steam Tank, 4,100 value. The Engineer also did okay. Empire Knights, one of them did fantastic. The other one did nothing. Flagellants did very well. Spearman Arms did very well. So it was really the state troops and then the Steam Tank that carried it through. For Chosen One, Lewin got 3,000 value. 2,000 for the Hippogriff Knights. Grail Knights got shellacked off screen. And then a lot of the other heavy knights didn't do a lot. Archers did fine. Mounted Yeomen did actually very well. Both of them paid for themselves and some, which is quite nice. So good little scrap there. GG's to both players. I'll take you back to this screen so you can't see. Because if you see one replay left from Pigman and Chosen One, you're like, well, that's a 2-game series. And if you see three, you're like, well, then I know Chosen One wins the next one. So we block it because we don't like spoilers here. You got to live in suspense with the rest of us. Game 2. Between Chosen One and Pigman. Give Pigman his win from earlier. Doggy, I'm going to scoot up the chair now. Don't get your paws run over. Beastmen versus Warriors of Chaos. Steam tanks seem to carry these days? Yes. Yes, they do. For the Beastmen of Pigman, we have a front line of Pestigors, 4 of them for some nice armor piercing. 4 Ungo Raiders backing them up, some Centaurs and Centaurs with throwing axes, Minotaurs with great weapons, a Bray Shaman of Beasts with just Flock of Doom, a Doom Bull, and then Butcher's Cow Guard, more Centaurs. Straightforward build. On the other side, for Chosen, we have 2 Rot Knights, Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Rot Knights are going to take a quick charge onto Pestigors. And this is a smart thing to do. You can get a lot of impact damage, and if the Beastmen don't have a ton of stuff in range that can really punish you for doing this, if you back off right away, it's just a good trade. Anyway, some Marauder Horsemen, 2 Hellstriders of Slaanesh, a Marauder front line, 2 Chaos Warriors with Halberds in the back, and then Archie, the Ever-Choosy, Spirit Leech, and Burning Head. Good Warriors of Chaos build. Solid stuff. Skirmish Cav also punishing the Pestigors, really taking out the Beastmen front line. Not that it's going to win you the whole game, but damage on the front line is pretty important. Nice! Flock of Doom hits 4 units. Anyway, if there is no front line, then the Ungor Raiders are also under pressure. Your Marauders can just slowly walk forward into them and kill them all. The Hellstriders Slaanesh are actually going to break into the back line. They were trying to capitalize on this Burning Head that's about to come through and hit 2 units. They really wanted to hop in there and rout those guys, but nice play from the Centaurs to just screen them internally. And now this actually could be getting overextended if there was a moment, which there's not, and I'll get to that. If there was a moment these Marauder Horsemen could loop in behind these guys, the Hellstriders could just turn and fight and they would wreck these guys. But he is very worried about this. Archaon gets completely surrounded by Minotaurs with great weapons and Pestigors. Now Archie's starting to run away, but the Marauder Horsemen wanted to be nearby to help out with that, skirmish into the Minotaurs and help them out. Rot Knights are trying to hold it down, but hold it down they will not. They are getting murdered! They're getting murdered out here! Rot Knights, one of them is terror routing, the other one's about to terror out 2 away from the Butchers of Calgard, and Chaos Warriors with Halberds are going to take their place on the front line and try and save this bad situation. But it's a bad situation, it surely is. The Hellstriders turn and try and fight some of the Centaurs. They're losing that fight quite badly. The other one is going to run down Ungor Raiders who are already routed, but I don't know if that's going to matter. This is the Warriors of Chaos. It's not actually Slaanesh, so running down stuff that's retreating doesn't like give you a ton of army passive or something. It doesn't do very much. Another Flock of Doom onto this area. The Warriors of Chaos are very behind on the balance of power as Archaon is already missing a quarter of his HP. Their front line is in disarray, and their Rot Knights, they're 2 very expensive Rot Knights, both got creamed by the Beastmen. In comes a huge Burning Head, getting rid of a bunch of Pestigors, routing them off, terror routing a bunch of different ones too. But I think the damage is already done. The Warriors of Chaos front line is just too damaged to like carry this game, which already asking your front line to carry for you is difficult in the current state of Game 3. Rot Knights are unusually bad, I think. I don't know why, but I agree with you. Like, their stats look okay, but they're just not. They're real bad. Groghoofs of Wolf's Run, get a rear charge on these Hellstriders, rout them off immediately. Another Flock of Doom is going to hit 3 different Warriors of Chaos units, including 2 Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Archaon's probably going to have to go hero mode and do what he does every game, try and carry it on his back, and either he dies and doesn't carry, or he kills everybody. With the amount of Minotaurs running around with great weapons, I don't think you can get to the Doom Bull and truly 1v1 him. This is just looking over. And there it is. Alright, I had to answer some messages. Turin doesn't like Rot Knights either. Don't you mention his name! No, it's fine. You can mention Turin. It just hurts my feelings. Give it a moment for people to get confused, and then they start panicking, and then they wonder, are they fighting? Or Mom and Dad fighting? Yeah, it was pretty one-sided. The Rot Knights didn't even get close to paying for themselves. Hellstriders didn't get a lot done either. So that's GG. GG, Pigman 2-0. Take you back to the blocker for a second while I queue up our next series. That's the dichotomy of land battles, man. Sometimes they're long, drawn-out slugfests down to the wire, and sometimes they're pretty quick. Pretty quick. One-sided affairs. We just cast Beastmen. That series has 2 Beastmen in it. We'll do this series that doesn't have any Beastmen. Alright, what do we got? We have Blob Sauce versus Odium Razel. I could be disingenuous and say, like, anybody could win. But Blob Sauce is up against it here. I mean, Razel is crazy good. He hasn't been playing that much recently, so he's probably not on, like, top form, but he's still a really, really good player. And Blob Sauce is one of our relatively new players who showed up in the scene. So, it'll be a toughie. We'll see what he can do. I think if he takes a game in the best of 3, he should be pretty happy with that. Do the Wood Elves versus Skaven one. Blob Sauce, I'm casting entire best threes here. We're not picking and choosing. So, for the High Elves of Blob Sauce, we have 4 Eagle-Claw Bolt Throwers, some Silver Helms, 4 Silver Helms in the back line, 4 White Lions of Crace, Tyrion, and a Mage of Life with just Earthblood. On the other side, for Razel, we have Tzeentch the Watcher, Empress Croman, and some Jade Lancers, a bunch of Jade Warriors, Iron Hill Gunners, Peasant Long Spearmen, 1 Fire and Rocket, and Miao Ying the Storm Dragon with Regrowth and Talons of Night. The 4 Bolt Throwers are all going to try and out-duel Tzeentch. Let's see how well it works for them. As already they lost a model. In comes the counter volley. And Razel dodges. Slowly but surely, his giant mecha anime boy dodges away. Turns. Is he going to take out another Bolt Thrower model? He is thinking about it. He is taking a very long time to think about it. No. Boom. Nope. Didn't get a model that time. High Elves are winning. High Elves are winning! Empress Croman flying over the enemy, and oh, that is a lot of blobbed up things. Now his name is Blob Sauce, because you're going to want to be careful of the Empress Croman grenades. Looks like he doesn't have to worry about that, as the Empress Croman are currently doing a kamikaze run? No, it's a mix of both. They are just jumping at the Eagle-Claw Bolt Throwers, but using the grenades on them first, then they'll dive down and maybe take those guys out. I'm not sure if the Silver Helms can even peel them off before they kill both of these crews. As Tzeentch and the Fire and Rocket are hopping in. And it is a tough time to be the High Elf right now. I thought Tzeentch was banned. Only his Wind Bow. His ability is insane. He's fine. Bolt Throwers are now firing back at the Fire Rain Rocket, which is fine. That's a good target for them. But you can see already them being like slightly clustered is getting a lot of damage dealt to them as an Overcast Earthblood comes out to try and like save the crews, as the Bolt Throwers need to stay online. I guess if they can shut down the Fire and Rocket, they'll have range dominance because Tzeentch's on the other side of some trees, so it's not really like he's going to shoot at you right now. But man, those Fire and Rockets are killing the crews that are stacked up. Now we're getting some progress. 2 out of the 4 Fire and Rocket models are gone. Another one's about to go soon. Ow! That damage, though. I don't think the Bolt Throwers can withstand. Yeah, and Razel's actually just going to dismount so he can keep his 2 Fire and Rocket models still alive while his crew backs off. And then the artillery duel is kind of at an end. What's Tzeentch up to? Not entirely sure. Out of all the top tier factions, which one would you want to play the most? Tatsuki, if I'm understanding that correctly. I like Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch is pretty fun. High Elves still advancing with their White Lions as Tzeentch tries to snipe something. Oh, it's the Bolt Throwers. Their flag is just nowhere near their actual model. Got it. This flag's just marking a spot in the ground. And this flag's just marking a spot in the ground. That's exciting. That's easy to cast when I can't tell where anything is. Tzeentch's trying to snipe these guys out. He did take 1 Bolt Thrower from this crew. The Empress Croman just being cheeky, sitting above them, using their grenades, not wanting to dive down to the Silver Helms and die. Which I can understand. The Fire and Rockets get back online as Tzeentch continues to try and take out some models here. And these Bolt Throwers are just hiding behind a rock. I don't think they can fire back, but at least Tzeentch's wasting his time. But anyway, the front line is about to engage. Looks like Tzeentch is going to run out and do his cool little flippy move. Whee! Flippy move! As he does literally no damage to the White Lions of Craze. Wow, flippy move. So good. But I do think this is going to be a disaster for the White Lions. They're just like so far ahead of the rest of their army and unsupported because so many Silver Helms have had to stay behind and watch this. Now the Empress Croman did finally dive down, but maybe 4 Silver Helms waiting for 1 Empress Croman to dive down is too many. Maybe you could get some around the sides of this and like get some rear charges off, but it's difficult. It's difficult. Iron Hail Gunner's going to fall back as the White Lions charge at them. Peasant Longspear's trying to get into place. Pikes up, boys. Pikes up. Stop those White Lions. Stop them. Out of the S tier factions, Tzeentch doesn't feel bullshit outside of the Soul Grinders. Yeah, they're just really strong. Centaurs of Tzeentch are strong. Their lords are strong. Their spells are strong. Their front line's fine. Which used to be one of their weaknesses. Tzeentch used to have a terrible front line. And then, like, good lords. Anyway, Miao Ying is going after the Mage of Life, doing fine there. What's Tyrion up to? Tyrion is standing in a whole bunch of peasants, and he does not have Sunfang to deal with this. Now, he does have crazy high stats, 72 melee defense compared to 24 melee attack and 17 bonus versus large. He's going to be okay. But he's not going to kill them. Ever. Ever. He's just going to get pokey-poked. Poke him. Poke his ass. Poke him. All right, they're poking him. Zaytang is getting pretty low from the bolt thrower pokes, and the bolt throwers, to be fair, still have 3, 4, 3, and 4 models. They have lost 2 models this entire time. The bolt throwers are full strength. That's actually kind of insane. The bolt throwers are completely fine. They're getting his ass. Zaytang fires back, trying to take out the Mage of Life. And our Silver Helms, I gotta say, I'm more critical of the Silver Helms. I don't know why they're being so passive. When the High Elf advantage is their Heavy Cav. They brought 4 Heavy Cav. Their opponent brought, like, 2. Yeah, 2 Jade Lancers. So they gotta be leveraging these to a victory somehow. I'm not saying it's easy, but them just kind of being AFK is not it. As the Firing Rocket fires its probably last volley, it looks like the Bolt Throwers are going to finish it off any second here. Zaytang is also getting very low, but Grand Cathay's front line is quite healthy. They still have plenty of Iron Hail Gunners to do some stuff, and Miao Ying is, of course, full HP. There goes the Firing Rocket's final model, so it doesn't matter anymore. Bolt Thrower is still trying to poke down Zaytang. And these Silver Helms are getting repeatedly caught by Peasant Longspears, because they're moving away, but they're moving away in, like, bits and bobbles. That's a regrowth onto Zaytang. That feels bad. That feels bad if you're a High Elf, because you're like, I just did all that work for nothing. Silver Helms charge the Firing Rocket, but without any models left, the Firing Rocket's just there. It's kind of not doing a whole lot. And this Mage of Life gets sniped by Zaytang on the way in. She tries to keep these White Lions in the fight with a little bit of a encouraging. Poor Tyrion, man. He's just over here. He's doing his best. Being surrounded by poking sticks that are poking him. Poke him! Poke his ass! Poke him! Take him down! Slowly but surely, my little friends. Slowly but surely. Bolt Throwers are all still focusing on Zaytang. Even after his regrowth, he's not feeling great. As the fire just keeps coming. And it don't stop coming. And it don't stop coming. Zaytang getting close to crumbling just a little bit. Getting that constant damage down from being a construct. And Tyrion's getting his ass poked. I want to see those peasants' value. Yeah, they have like 1,000 value for poking Tyrion. He's just trying to get out. He's been working his way towards the edge of the formation as they poke him. Poke his ass! Will he grow from iron and ceramic? Ouch! Zaytang gets a parting shot on the Mage of Life that will rout her. Now, she is an elf. She won't die from that. I mean, sorry, she won't, like, shatter or anything. She'll be back. And Zaytang gets another regrowth as the crumbling starts just a little bit. Then it's fine. The Bolt Throwers are all still shooting at him as he gets behind the trees to try and block some of those incoming shots. So the Bolt Throwers seem to have a bit of an up angle. They can kind of get over the trees. Zaytang will still take some damage. Nice Talons of Night from Miao Ying. Catches Silver Helms and White Lions of Grace. And I like the Grand Cathay strategy of just ignore the Bolt Throwers until they go away. One of them's out of ammo. Some of them are fine, but they don't have a lot left to do. And soon the Grand Cathay peasantry can just walk at the Bolt Throwers and get it all done. Zaytang's trying to poke out Tyrion for what it's worth. And the Bolt Thrower is actually just switching into multi-shot as they fire into this blob of Cathay randoms. I love how that arrow almost hit Miao Ying instead of Tyrion. It didn't hit either, but It would have hit Miao Ying before it ever hit Tyrion. Tzeentch still trying to line up the shots. Some of the bolt throwers are still trying to focus him down, but after all these regrowths, he is lots of HP left. I mean, like, 3,000 is still quite a lot. These guys have ammo, but they've been working on spending it this whole game. Finally, a Jade Lancer sees an opportunity to sneak through the front line. Silver Helms are going to try and cut him off, but the Jade Lancer's going for the Claw Bolt throwers. Shut them down once and for all, but the Mage of Life stops them briefly. Razel does give them fresh commands to keep running, keep ignoring her, get to the back line. Army losses is danger close. One more shot on the Tyrion should cause army losses to proc, and then he won't get his heal either. GG. It ended up being closer than I would have thought, honestly. Silver Helms did alright. White Lions got rolled. Tyrion got rolled. Bolt throwers all did pretty well. I guess one didn't do great. On the other side, Zaytag and Miao Ying did okay. Fire and Rocket did okay. Croman did okay. Jade Lancers did okay. Iron Hail Gunners and Peasant Long Spears getting a lot of value back. Yeah, look at those Peasant Long Spear values. God damn! Well done. Well done, lads. Back to the blocker. We have a battle of the low tiers, for some reason. Razel taking Skaven into Blobsauce's Wood Elves. Bet away. This is one of Skaven's better matchups that's left. Light cavalry means you can use Night Runners on the flanks to help with cavalry a bit. Whereas heavy cav, they don't do any damage. So we'll see. For Blob Sauce and the Wood Elves, we have Wild Riders. 6 Wild Riders? No, just 3, and then 4 Glade Riders with Spears, so a whole bunch of cav. Glade Guard, Deepwood Scouts, Dryads, and Drycha. And Drycha brought Melkoths. And then Enfeebling Foe. Why do I have a ping? On the other side, we have 3 Night Runners from Razel, a bunch of Skaven slaves in the front line, a Poison Wind Mortar, the regular version, Natty Booba Sharpshooters, Warplock Jazales, 2 Poison Wind Globes, 4 Rat Ogres, Eshin's Triads, and then a Wolf Rat and a Gracier of Plague with both of his summons? Yes, both summons. Alright. Finally a faction weak enough for Skaven to beat? Yeah. Night Runners, a little AFK, bit of a whoopsie. They start to run away now, and this is a bit of a blob, so the Skaven not off to a great start. Gonna take some extra damage here from the archers. They do need to hurry up and spread out as a Melkoth plus a Dangerous Volley does a lot of damage to Poison Globes and Night Runners. The Dryads are after them as well. Rat Ogre's gonna run forward and try and peel, as Poison Mortar's trying to take care of all the archers. Wild Riders are in, but they're a bit blobbed up. Routing Skaven Slave Spears who are like at full HP while they're routing. Oh, that's funny. That one's not a problem, it's just funny. Skaven Slaves are supposed to route, it's fine, but it is funny. Wild Riders are too blobbed up, however, so they'll get punished by globes, or I guess just by a Rat Ogre surround, so that's not something you really want. The rest of the Wood Elf build is doing fine, but I am noticing that both of the cavalry tend to just blob up crazy hard. That almost dead Eshin Triad is the summon fake. The real one's right here, so that is not impactful. And then come the Wild Riders on the flank to get rid of some of these Night Runners and maybe harass Natty Boob Sharpshooters. Ooh, a Malevolent Dryad summon to even make sure they stay dead. Storm Vermin Halberd summon on the backline from the Dreaded 13th, plus the Poison Wind Globe Overing Fire should get rid of the rest of these Wood Elf archers. And I think the Cav blobbing up a bit too much is coming back to haunt the Wood Elves. They've almost got some breaks over here, but there's still just like too many Cav on one spot at a time. And that is proving to be rather punishing. And man, if these globes can get a volley off onto that blob, that would be gigantic. That doesn't look to be the case. Glade Riders are trying to make sure anything that routes stays routing. Wild Riders thoroughly stuck in the morass of Skaven. And a morass is a real word. Man, if something could punish this blob right here, the game would end. The mortars aren't even dealing with it. They're just shooting at other stuff. Still have 1 Deepwood Scout. Still have a Dryad. That's a Malevolent Dryad summon. So the summon is healthy. Everything else in here is very low. And Glade Riders are super overstaying their welcome. in this. Globes are finally getting a good volley off. Ow, that's going to be so much damage to the blob. It's probably GG, with the Eshin Triads also coming in to say hello. Yep, that is the punishment we were waiting for. Wood Elves starting to come back with some of their archers, but it is probably too late. We're going to have Wolf Rats run out there and deal with them. Poison Wind Mortars are also just poking them down. The Wood Elves that were in here are just all routing or shattered or dead. We still have 2 full health Dryads that need to come back to the fight. Gotta stay true to your name. It's so true, Blob Sauce. It's so true. And I mean, the Wood Elves are just out of this now. Drycha being full HP is all that's keeping them in it, balance of power-wise, and she's not going to be able to kill, like, literally the whole Skaven army. That's insane. Which faction is the best for blobbing? Used to be Nurgle, might still be Nurgle, could be Vampire Counts, though their blobs aren't even that good anymore. They're just really good at stacking a bunch of healing and then Mortis Engine effects, but they're really bad against single entities, so. Nurgle, Warriors of Chaos. I'm gonna fast forward as there's literally no hope. We're just watching Drycha fight the whole army because all this stuff's doomed as hell. Rat Ogres and Dogs surround him. And now it's Drycha. Dryads coming in, but then Globe's gonna notice him and it's army losses. GG. Skaven W. He's good. We enjoy a Skaven dub. Wolf Rats did good. Poison with Mortars did great. I'm surprised. I will say I'm surprised we have 500 people still hanging around from Legends Raid. Like, I kind of expected it to go back down to the 200 range. So, if you're here from Legends Stream and you're not hating your time, consider dropping a subscribe. But if you don't, that's okay. I'll just cry. But, like, if all of you that are here right now subscribed, that would increase, because I only have 10,000 subs, so that would give me like half of another 1,000. That's like a 20th of all I've accumulated over 3 years of streaming. Think about that. Think about that power in your hands, and think about how I deserve it. Think about how I bled and cried. I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I'm the manliest man, and I didn't cry. I cried a little bit. And that's why I should get your sub. Let's get some Poggin. We'll do Sipa versus Archangel, a Kislev mirror. Get ready, guys. Get ready. The joke's coming. The funny joke no one gets sick of. Are you ready? Buckle up, cause you're gonna be laughing so hard. A Kislev mirror. I think Kislev is favored here. Oh my god! I think Kislev's favored. It's funny because they're both Kislev. Oh my goodness! You're so funny. You're so funny, human boy. How do you do it? Where do you come up with these things? How can one man be so funny? I'm laughing. I'm laughing so hard. Because he's so goddamn funny. He's the funniest person there's ever been. He's a stand-up comedian. This guy. This bit bought me enough time to go get a sparkling water. Take that. You thought it was just a comedy bit. No, it had a purpose. Already subbed. Woo! Thanks, Grace here. Alright. For Sipa versus Archangel, we have an Ice Witch of Tempest with just Blizzard. Great spell. So Griffin Legions for a bit of cab dominance, a front line of Armored Kossars backed up by Streltsy and regular Kossars, and then some Classified Archers and Griffin Legions, so pretty straightforward. Some heavy cav, some pike, some shot. Double duty? Yeah, no, dude, I had to go get a water. On the other side, we have double Little Grom. Ice Witch of Tempest with Gust of True Fight, Blizzard, and Hailstorm. Some Wing Lancers in the back. They will lose the Griffin Legion, so they'll need some support from the Streltsy. And then, of course, the Wolfheart Auction Ambushers with their Pack Trap. If you can use the Pack Trap to net down one of the Griffin Legion in place so that you can get a free charge with your Wing Lancers, that would be huge. But, yeah. Why water, no beer? It's 12:30... Not a.m. 12:30 p.m. It's like noon here, bro. Anyway. Kossars moving up. Armored Kossars holding their position on top of the hill. And the little Groms are getting some damage onto Streltsy poking here and there, but they really need to find time to shoot at the Griffin Legion. Like that. Because they'll need that damage. Ooh, charge versus charge with no net involved. The Griffin Legion should win that. They just have flat out better stats. They are a more expensive cav piece after all. If they didn't win it, that would actually be very concerning. This Griffin Legion is smoking some Wing Lancers while the Costified Dervishes get to the back line, and I am already very worried for Red Kislev in this matchup. The front lines are just squaring off and firing pistols at each other, but that doesn't matter. The cav engagement is huge, and so far Green is winning it. They did have better cav, and they had more cav, so if they were losing it, I mean, that'd be dumb. That would be a dumb thing I would complain about, but I am stating facts that they are losing the cav fight, and now their backline is open. Wolfhearts are just about dead. Streltsy at half HP. The little Groms are compromised. They're still trying to shoot at stuff here and there, but they're not really going to get too much off, and they're even going for a Lord Snipe just as a desperation. But as we saw before with Kislev, I mean, with their Buyer Blood Pass or anything, it's not like you can shock them into, our Lord is dead, our leadership's broken, everybody run, scatter. It's not what they're going to do. So the little Groms just still firing away. I don't think they're going to have enough time to get anything done. Buyer Blood is popped from all of these units, so it's stopping the ranged units from routing, but it's also stopping the cavalry harassing the ranged units from routing, so it's kind of a moot point. Blizzard catches 2 armored Kossars together. 1 armored Kossar and a regular Kossar, but still. Streltsy are going to kill the little Grom. Balance of power is tipping against the red team. And I definitely agree. Hazel, that was startling. What the fuck? If she keeps barking, that means somebody broke in my house and I have to go deal with it. If she doesn't bark anymore, then we're fine. Why do people have such an aversion to drinking at noon? You know my liver doesn't work right. You've been a fan of the stream long enough to know my liver isn't exactly top-notch. Genetics, not malpractice. I don't really have too much to say. Oh, you're home. You're what the dog was barking at. Okay, hello, goodbye. Grace is home. Anyway, there's not a lot of analysis to do here. They had similar front lines. Green had more ranged, Green had more cavalry. And then Red had a lot of money in the little Groms. And then, I guess they had less range, but more expensive range. Well, Sipa used his cavalry advantage to secure the back line, killed them all off, and now their front lines are tied, so they're just doing nothing, but... yeah. Anyway. Sipa's Griffin Legion, getting really good values. Streltsy also did fine. Armored Kossars did next to nothing, and that's fine. Regular Kossars also didn't do too much, as Costified Dervishes got really good value from diving the backline. For Archangel, his Armored Kossars also did nothing, which is fine, but then his backline got completely shut down by the cavalry. Wing Lancers lost their fight, and Little Groms didn't have enough time to get their value back. Blocker up. No spoilers. No spoilers for you. Game 2. Tzeentch and Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves bring in a wild build with double Infernal Castellans. What the? What the hell? Okay. Tzeentch versus the Chaos Dwarves. For Tzeentch, we have a bunch of Centaurs of Tzeentch, Zongors, Chaos Sorcerer of Metal with his Final Transmutation and Skull of Catan combo, Aesian the Fallen, wow, Neil the Vortex Beast ROR, Chaos Lord of Tzeentch, the melee version, just running around lit like just naked, no abilities, nothing, just naked. And then some Marauders. On the other side, we have Chaos Dwarves with 2 Deathstreak rocket launchers. We have 2 Infernal Castellans, 2 Bull Centaur Rangers with great weapons, Then some Chaos Dwarf Warriors, some Goblin Laborers, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Death with Fate of Unit and Spirit Leech. I don't like this build. I think he's about to get overrun super hard. He's going to do a decent job at sniping out Aeson. Like, that's going well for him. But you don't have a lot of frontline killing power here. So the Marauders and Zongors are going to constantly pressure you down. Bull Centaur Renders with Grey Opens are going to do okay, but they're just outnumbered. As we can see, more Centaurs of Tzeentch piling in. As these guys take a frontal fight, they get downhill rear charged by the other ones. Now they're in a 2v1. It's just too much single entity sniping. And the Infernal Castellans also contribute to single entity sniping, but it's like, I mean, cool, but what are you going to do about, like, the whole army? That Bull Centaur render, this surround is beautiful, and it is getting murdered before our very eyes, so it'll be dead soon. Aeson the Fallen gets his way onto the backline to fight one of the Destro Rock Launchers, though he's not feeling good about the other one. These Bull Centaur renders that aren't fully surrounded, trying to fight the Centaurs of Tzeentch. The Zongors are nearby, trying to help out a little bit, but mostly it looks like the Centaurs are just going to dip, not involve themselves in that fight at all. And this flank went very, very well. I will say the Centaurs took some decent damage in return, so we'll see if that can amount to anything. But the front line, already in trouble as Tzeentch just squeaks on through and starts to harass the Deathstreaker rocket launchers a little bit more, make sure they don't have anywhere to go. Aeson is following that guy around. It's not Aeson, it's something else. Well, I'm going to say it the cool, awesome way, and you can say it however. What do you want to say? Hey, son? Hey, son! Getting in there! That makes it sound like he's my kid, and he is not my kid. I don't know this man! Anyway, whatever. Final Transmutation, Overcast, and I believe it also has the Skull. Yes, it has the Skull of Catan synergy, so it's going to do way more damage than you're used to. Plus a Bolt of Change, all in on the Lord Snipe. Going to take out the Sorcerer Prophet of Death. Final Trans is worn off, but he is routing. He is surrounded by Centaurs. Things are going very well for the side of Tzeentch. One of the Destro Launchers is routing. The other one's thinking about routing. As Aeson's going to walk past and put the fear of God in him. Not that God, the bird God. Surprised he didn't terror out, honestly. Sorcerer is shattered. Bounce power is beyond all repair, beyond all hope. And that is a 2-0. Okay, the blocker is up. Oof. My stream is really behind for some reason, and I keep telling it to update, but when I look over and I just see the blocker, I'm like, ah! Gale Force? Someone in chat might be able to help you. Tito, that seems kind of steep. Yeah, there's Spency. Chaos Dwarf Lord is dead, everybody's routing, and that should be army losses any second now while I check up on chat. Well played from Sipa. Centaurs, Metal Vortex Beast is Lord and Hero both. Well, they all got good value. So did the Zongors, honestly. For Archangel, it was a creative strat. I appreciated seeing a different build. It did not work out. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Change it. Boom. Done with that one. Then there was something I was going to go do. What was it? There's something I was delaying. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got some good ones. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. We have Yashkov versus NK's Dragon Knight. Yashkov starting off on the Beastmen. Dragon Knight with Tzeentch. Yakov. That's not quite the same. Dragon Knight not taking any dragons. That's illegal. I have 2 pings. Why? Okay, whatever. More noob stomps? No. Right. So Tzeentch versus Beastmen. Now, this happened in the past, so if there was a rule break, someone should have brought it up to me ahead of time, but the Tzeentchian army is a little close to the white line. Just like a heads up for anybody who cares. If you see it and you're like, aren't they? Probably a little close, but this is in the past. We're not going to go back and make them play it again. For the Beastmen, we have Chaos Warhounds, a bunch of Zongors on the front line. Malagor, Dark Omen, Flock of Doom, and Doom and Darkness up there. Or is that aspect of the Dread Knight? It's Doom and Darkness. And then a bunch of Chaos Spawn and Minotaurs in the back. Cool. For Tzeentch, Chaos Furies, Zongors, the Severed Claw, Soul Grinder, Changebringers guarded by Doom Knights of Tzeentch, and then an Exalted Lord of Change with Blue Fire and Infernal Gateway. Flock of Doom is out, trying to poke down the Doom Knights and the Changebringers, but if the Doom Knights and these Furies can block enough stuff from the Beastmen, the Changebringers will be just unlocked to fire at whatever they want to all game long. The Beastmen didn't bring any archers or anything. Very few Harpies to really contest the Changebringers. 2 dogs routed off immediately by a Fury charge. And already Malagor's taking a lot of damage too, so it's not feeling good to be a Beastman at this moment. Beastmen do have some Pestigors I missed, but Minotaur's closing in as well, trying to get through this front line, and that they do. Wow, they slap those Marauders. Okay, Marauders are getting slapped. Everywhere you look, there are dead Marauders. As the Changebringers light up their own Marauders, not happy those guys were routing. Not happy at all those guys were routing. They just light them up. They did it again! Bro! Stop it! They're just killing the Marauders. Oh my god. That's too funny. So they just keep messing them up. This is a bit of an unholy blob that is occurring. They'll want to spread the love a little bit on that one as Tzeentch tries to hold back the tide. Soul Grinders, Doom Knights, Exalted Lord of Change routing off a whole bunch of Ungor Spears, terror routing them away. And we're already getting to the point where the Changebringers are chilling in the sky. As another Infernal Gateway goes down, it won't hurt any of the monstrous infantry worth a damn, but it kills all the Pestigors and stuff below them as the Changebringers still fire in. Changebringers already crazy low on ammunition, and they didn't even come close to paying for themselves yet. That's concerning. That is very concerning. And I'm honestly getting a little worried about Tzeentch running out of Gusto. Because your Doom Knights are like half HP. Soul Grinder's stuck in melee with Minotaurs with great weapons. Your front line isn't looking too good. I guess you still have the Severed Claw, but that's about it. And then Exalted Lord of Change doesn't want to sit and fight these Minotaurs either. If the Severed Claw die, then actually I think the Beastmen win this. Malagor is getting kind of sniped out. Not loving that. He's got to take off soon as a Doom and Darkness tries to get these Marauders of Tzeentch to rout away. 3 leadership on them, but they do go. In the end, Changebringers 1 volley left. Aim for Malagor? No, they aim for the Chaos Spawn. Get decent damage down. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Another Flock of Doom to poke down, though it does not do much damage to the Severed Claw. They have a very low model count. The Beastmen are down to the balance of power. I'm not that worried about them yet. Not that worried. Blue Fire is in, hits Malagor in the face. That could be rather concerning. But look, like, this is more of what I was thinking, right? Soul Grinder stuck in melee. He's lost half his HP. I think the Minos need to separate out, though. These are dead Changebringers. They're going to charge in, do nothing, and die horribly. They're out of ammo, so I don't really know what you're going to do with them, but they will not participate in this fight well at all. Malagor's dead. The Beastmen lose their precious, precious leadership, and we're going to see a lot of their dogs and Harpies start going. The Severed Claw are still holding it down. The second Chaos Fury Summon is out, but the Minotaurs and the Chaos Spawn are kicking tons of ass over here, killing off the Changebringers entirely. Can the Beastmen withstand the shock of losing their Lord, which gets a little less bad over time? Can they withstand this Chaos Fury Summon, which will go away over time? And win. Exalted Lord changes in a bit over his head as he's now completely surrounded by mass and getting circle beaten down. Soul Grinder's getting real low. The Doom Knights are also stuck fighting Minos, man. I don't know. Nice charge in for the Chaos Furies, trying to lower the Minotaur's leadership, but it's hard to get somebody who's winning in melee combat to rout, because he's doing good. He's got a +6 from winning that melee combat. Beastmen are starting to rally all across the board. Changebringers chasing some stuff off, but if these Harpies throw themselves at the Changebringers, they'll kill the Changebringers and allow their friends to come back. So that is what we call a 2-for-1. Some of these Beastmen have to come back to the main fight a little faster as the Exalted Lord of Change is very much regretting diving down into this area. The Doom Knights are also dead. And did I not say the Beastmen were going to be fine? You all doubted it. You were like, I don't know, guys. Balance of power says one thing. No. Fuck the balance of power. Real analysis ignores the balance of power. Bounce power's full of shit. Now, could Tzeentch still win? Yes, they have the Severed Claw, who just came over to bail out the Exalted Lord of Change, who can get back up in the sky and maybe get some spells off. Soul Grinder still has a lot of ammo if he can find any room to kite or use that ammo. And Severed Claw are spooky. I'm not saying it's a done deal. It looks like a done deal, though. It's a done deal. I'm saying it's a done deal. Tzeentch loses. Fuck you. Chaos Spawn getting real close to dead. This Minotaur is looking like he's going to rout any second now. And the Soul Grinder is clutching to life barely. Just barely. Most of Tzeentch's support is gone. We do have a Doom Knight over there that could come back at some point. And even though the Beastmen army is reduced to pretty much just these Minos, that's all you really need. Nice Gateway of Change is going to come in, take out these Ungor Spearman herds once and for all, and make sure that the Minotaurs just have to fight on top of the Severed Claw all alone. Severed Claw will take a little bit of friendly fire, but their super low model count means they won't really lose too much HP off this. I don't know. Actually, like, looking at the HP they're losing, I don't know if that was a worthwhile cast, because you took about 800 HP off your very important Severed Claw to kill 2 Ungor Spearman herds, who suck. Minos take a little blue fire to the back, but now that the Infernal Gateway is gone, they're going to charge back in. The last Chaos Spawn from that grouping has died. Still another Chaos Spawn, and that Soul Grinder is looking like he's going to Demonic Instability crumble any minute as a big old sandwich of beef comes for him. He is bloodied, he is tired, and he's going back to the realms of chaos in a body bag. There he goes. The Severed Claw are also thinking about leaving, and if they go, so does the game. Beastmen hold on despite losing their lord. GG. It's just the Exalted Lord of Change. Severed Claw, not going to be able to come back. He is doomed. Doomed! Game 1 Diashkov. Wow, 2,900 on the Minos with great weapons. The other Minotaurs also did great, but the great weapon one did amazingly well. Infantry, not too much value. Just the Destroyers of the Drakewald getting 700. So yeah, it was mostly the Mino show. For Dragon Knight, his front line buckled like immediately. His Furies did fine. His Lord did fine. Doom Knights did fine. Changebringers ended up getting 2,000 value, which is quite nice. Oh, sorry, those aren't Doom Knights. Those are Severed Claw. The Doom Knights did okay. And the Soul Grinder, I mean, it's strong. It's just a strong unit. No complaints about it whatsoever, but it did not have room to kite or shoot. Yashkov was just on top of it right away and followed it to its death. Take you to the blocker, load up Game 2, and keep this show a-rolling. Now, you saw Beastmen, but have you seen Beastmen? As Game 2 does take us back into the heart of the Beastmen. This time for Dragon Knight. And if you're hoping for a 3-game series here, you are rooting for the Beastmen once again. And they have a giant. They have a cave troll. But a giant. What do we got? What do we got? Is this our first Lizardman of the day? I think this is our first Lizardman of the day. Or Zongor is actually good. I think they're pretty good. For Lizardmen, we have some Pterodon Riders, some Ripperdactyls, the Pawhawk Sentinels, Mazdamundi. It looks like he's on his toilet seat, however. He did not bring any of his bound spells. He just has Apotheosis and Net, but no Ruination of Cities, no Banishment. Salamander Hunting Packs, some Saurus with Spears, Cold One Spear Riders, and then Skinks for a front line. Triple Crocsgores in the back. A very strange Lizardman build. Very strange. I don't think I like it. On the other side for the Beastmen, we have Centaurs, Pestigores, some Ungor Raiders, a couple Minotaurs with great weapons, Butcher's Calvin Guard, a Doombull, Tradekin Caster, a Giant, and some dogs. Giant gonna try and find a dinosaur and beat it to death, though there isn't one. So I guess it'll just do its best. Human Boy, why do they have a giant? I imagine to, like, duel with Bastillodons. or I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just work here. I don't know. Salamanders tee off onto the Doom Bull. They're non-armor piercing shots. I think they do have anti-large. Yeah, they have anti-large, but it's not armor piercing, so the Doom Bull's 100 armor will keep him mostly safe. And Centaur is going to try and take a fight with some of these skink cohorts. But in the back line, Ripperdactyls have dove down. The Centaur should come back here and dive those guys instead. It looks like we're just going to lose some dogs. Decent little start here for the Lizardmen. Coldwind Spear Riders catch more Centaurs, getting a lot of damage out. They get countercharged by Centaurs with throwing axes. We'll see if they can peel off those guys anytime soon. And the Coldwind Spear Riders feel like they're really far ahead of the rest of this. I don't know why they're engaging in the frontline fight, but they are. Little Traderkin out from the Beastmen, just to damage them a bit. Push back the Tides of Oblivion. Mazda and the Salamanders are trying to get good work done, but the Giant is already over here, chasing down the Salamanders a little bit. They need to back off, but I don't think the Lizardman player has realized that the Giant is walking straight at him. I think he's busy looking at other things, probably down here, as a lot of his Coldwind Spear Riders are getting clapped. I guess not clapped. They did rout one Centaur. They routed a second one, but they are still losing both their Spear Riders. There, the Salamanders realized they were in danger and back off a little bit, and if they turn and fire at the Giant, they'll do great. Not a lot of armor on him, very high hitbox, so the Salamanders should do fine there. And they're getting good damage down. I'm generally underwhelmed by Salamanders, but I know I'm outvoted. A lot of Lizardman players like them, so I guess I'll just concede defeat and stop trying to be correct about things. Ripperdactyl's trying to take a fight with the Bray Shaman of Wild, does throw out a Traderkin while archers are firing in, getting good damage on its Ripperdactyl riders, but the Saurus are proving to be a bit more of an issue. Wherever they go, they're doing just fine versus the Beastmen. In comes Salamander Hunting Pack, firing on these guys. Crocscore's getting healed up by Apotheosis, though their own guys did set them on fire, so now they're getting less healing. And if the Minos can get through that Crocscore, they can run straight at the Salamanders, take those out, and then loop around and get behind this fight. So really, if the Mino bus can go choo-choo all the way along its route, it'll be just fine. As Mazda is currently dueling a Giant, and the Giant is more than happy to do that. Mazda should not be here. Though I wonder if he was looking for some kind of support because he didn't want to be alone with the Minotaurs, but this is not what you want. Now he's trying to path through the Giants blocking him in place and just swinging for the fences, hitting that big magical toad right in the face. Backline Lizardmen are doing fine. They're routing a lot of the Beastmen frontline and backline. They're just having a bad time. Mazda and the Giant decide to walk hand in hand for a little bit. The Giant has attack orders onto Mazda. He's just getting confused. He's a little slow. Doom Bull gets netted in place, and now the Salamanders are going to try and punish him, but I think the Crocscores will obstruct their line of sight. Yes. Yes, they did. A couple shots here and there, but not a ton. Mazda heals himself up with Apotheosis, but in comes the Minotaurs we were talking about. Balance Power is dead, even though, as like the Beastmen have taken a lot of attrition damage throughout this game. I think it's because of the Pawhawk Sentinels and stuff sitting up above, just firing down slowly but surely. The Salamander plus Crocscore around doing a lot of damage to the Doom Bull. Okay. Okay. Mazda still taking some damage here and there. Another Traderkin is out to punish the Saurus, but also both Pterodons up in the sky. Doom Bull's getting very low. Do the Beastmen have any reserves they can get onto these Salamanders? I'm really surprised the Salamanders have been left alive this long. How much damage are you guys getting out? 1,600. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Which is Calvin Guard terror-routing off some skinks. Still trying to get to Mazda, who hasn't been fully killed off yet. And there's a lot of Crocscores left. A lot. Doom Bull is doing his best to fight his way out, but everybody's all of a sudden routing, and the Giant is back in it. Can the Giant kill Mazda? Doesn't matter. Mazda's a little slower, but then he can just cast the net spell. He'll be fine. Pawhawk Sentinels diving out of Pestigores in the back, and the Beastmen look to be in big trouble. They've lost their Doom Bull. Their caster is a little lost. He needed to be casting Traderkins on Mazda, unfortunately, and he wasn't, because Traderkin is only good versus single entities. It's not really good at anything else. And that's going to be RIP to the Beastmen. Yashkaf 2-0. Which is a little uncomfortable. Because that's not correct. That's not correct. There is a third replay, so I must have cast them out of order. I just cast them in the order that was sent to me, but they aren't numbered or anything. Nice wins by Yashkaf. Next game we know is Dragon Knight's Revenge. But I'll check it out anyway. Just beat on some Zords for a while. I don't know why the Giant walked off either. Shit happens. There's this. I know there's no reason to block this specific one. Oh, pfft. Okay. We gotta cast this even though we know the result, because that's just silly. Double Iron Demon Chaos Dwarves versus Dragon Knight's Dark Elves. Let's see it. Let's see it, my little Chaos Dwarf friends. So this was actually game 2, apparently. With Chaos Dwarves, we have double Iron Demon, Sorcerer Prophet of Death with just Spirit Leech, and then in the woods we have a whole bunch of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, some Fertile Guard of Fireglaves, 2 Blunderbusses, and some Orc Laborers. For the Dark Elves, we have Dark Riders, a Medusa, Malice Darkblade, Sisters of Singing Doom Witch Elves, plus a bunch of Bleak Swords, Cold One Knights, Dark Riders, Blackheart Corsairs, a Feral Manticore, and a Shadows Caster with just Pit of Shades. Aren't trains limited to 1? I don't know, I'd have to check. It's a very rare occurrence to come up, to be honest. Trains are in, already getting a couple good blasts onto the Bleak Swords. And Malice is taking a lot of damage. Is that from 1 Spirit Leech? Damn. Feels like a lot more than that. The Iron Demons just set up shot firing these weird fire shotguns into the back of the Elves. Already 32 and 13 kills for them. They're just gonna keep peppering the Bleak Swords. Jesus. Has your game been played yet, World Beater? I don't believe so. Manticore dives in onto the little Iron Demon that could. It rolls away. Chugga chugga choo choo out of there. And so far, I think the Chaos Dwarves are more than happy with how this has started out. I mean, they took half health off of 2 different Bleak Swords. But that is getting a little spooky. Malice diving in with the Manticore onto the Iron Demons a bit, and then he just, like, loops right back around, gets out of there. Oh, it's because this guy landed. He wants to go punish him. Sisters Singing Doom could rampage him if they were the old version, but they are not. Instead, they will stand around wondering what could have been if they had been able to rampage that guy down into their troops. Malice is already at half HP. Okay. Dark Elves moving up. They will want to get into the melee here. They have way more melee infantry units than their opponents, so they need to start leveraging them and using them. They need to get onto the Chaos Dwarf range. As we've seen throughout this whole stream today, if you can shut down the enemy range, you can get pretty significant advantages, but if that range can stay online, it can win the whole game. Blunderbusses, one's trying to fire at Malice, the other one's firing at Bleak Swords, but they are firing uphill, which is a not great firing angle for them, as a lot of those shots are going to go wide. See how long the front line of the Chaos Dwarves can hold. It is mostly about whether the Dark Elves can separate out and get around the flanks, rather than just bulwark their way through some Chaos Dwarf Warriors. It's not going to work. And this Sorcerer Prophet of Death is playing with fire again, as Malice and Manticore and Cold One Knights are going to catch him. Does he die? Not sure yet. As the Medusa just destroys Infernal Guard downhill. My word. That is a lot of damage value. But in comes the Blunderbuss Volley that really puts her in her place. There's a nice Pit of Shades. So, yeah, lots of things are dying. Lots of things are dying. Horrible, horrible deaths. Both the Iron Demons still doing okay. One's half HP, the other one's full HP. And they are just using their range attacks right now. They aren't really going into melee too much with the Dark Elves, which is weird, considering, like, their guns aren't that amazing. Usually you just use them as unbreakable melee chariots. But our Medusa's just about dead. Still trying to fire in and do anything she can. But she's about to get routed off by an Iron Demon any second now. But Malice and the boys trying to kill the Sorcerer Prophet of Death. And they do rout him with the Demon's Curse leadership debuff. So now a Manticore can walk him off the battlefield. And Malice and his Cold Knights immediately turn back to go charge the Iron Demon that's currently destroying his Sorcerers of Shadows and routing off the Bloodwrack Medusa. Balance power is slightly Chaos Dwarf favored, but in comes a giant sandwich onto the Iron Demon. And even with its incredible mass, I don't think it can get out of this one. This is too many Velociraptors with spears. It'll start taking some decent damage. It's trying to push its way through, and some of the Cold Knights are going very far away. I hope you have attack orders somewhere else, because if you're going that far off because you're confused, then that is a disaster. Sisters Singing Doom chasing Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses through the trees while this other blunderbuss is fine and healthy, still firing around. Chaos Dwarf frontline is holding for now. Malice is after the 2 Iron Demons. There's another Pit of Shades, and it hits 2 Chaos Dwarf warriors who are right next to each other. Doing decent damage to them. Not amazing, so it must not have been overcast, but it did okay. And the Blood Rack's back! 700 HP, but as long as she just uses all of her shots, then she's fine. Dark Elves take a lead on the balance of power. Iron Demons are trying to kill off the Cold Knights, and it looks like the Manticore will succeed in chasing that Sorcerer Prophet off of the battlefield. Blacker Corsairs continuing to harass the back line. Sisters Singing Doom find their way onto the Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses, who now remember they need to be running away. So Sisters are after them once again. Chaos Dwarf's down to just these 2 ranged units as any form of pressure, as their front line completely falls apart and the Dark Elves are streaming downhill towards these guys. I don't think the Iron Demons can kill Malice. Balance power is looking pretty bad. I would tend to agree. That is GG. Run, little blunderbusses, run. Oh, the sisters are all up in their business. Okay, that hurts. That hurts a lot. You guys aren't going anywhere. They're just getting run down through the trees. This is horrible. Alright, they all died. Iron Demons are left, but they're doomed. Trains did not get a lot of value. Their lord did fine. Blunderbusses and Infernal Guard Fireglaives struggled a bit. So that's that. For Dragon Knight, Malice did alright. Pit of Shades Caster did pretty well. Sister Singing Doom did very, very well. Cold Knights didn't get a ton done. Bloodrack Medusa did fine. Manticore did fine. GG. Okay. That could be good. I swear I saved World Beater's stuff, but I don't have it again. And I feel like I've run into this before, and I definitely saved it. Oh, I know why I don't have it. Hang on. I just want to make sure I remembered that correctly. Yeah, World Beater, I cast yours as a standalone video. So it won't be part of the live stream. It'll just come out one of the subsequent days. Okay. Let's do this. Pyramid Mortis versus Nylara Holophonep. That you could see it. You could see the fucking name. It's a wild name. Pyramid Mortis. I know he plays a lot of undead factions. And then we have... I needed that name. Larhalfanep. We're just gonna wing it. Nylon pantsuit. It's the best I'm gonna do here. Alright. Nylon pantsuit versus Imperator Mortis. I didn't forget to save your games. I cast them as a standalone. Congrats on the 100k. Dude, I wish I had 100k, but 10k is pretty nice. Okay, for Nyharalthonep, we have Bile Trolls and Chaos Trolls, Marauders with Great Weapons, Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and then Herald Hammerstorm, Festus the Leech Lord with no spells, and then a Sorcerer of Metal with Searing Doom and Found Transmutation with the Skull of Catan combo. For Imperator Mortis, we do have some Gunnery mobs and Zombie-Pirate Deckhands mobs, Animated Hulks, Deck Gunners, Lamper's Revenge, Bomber mobs, Count Noctilus, and in the very far back, the Night Terrors, Mourngulls. Okay. Okay. 5 marks to the Chaos player. It's too late. It's too late to change anything. Anyway, the Skirmish Cav of Chaos is trying to get on the backline, get the deck gunners. That doesn't look like they got, like, appropriate attack for some reason. And they just get blobbed up, and now the Crabs and Animated Hulks can take them out, so they will secure that backline. Warriors of Chaos should win the front line, especially with Herald Hammerstorm routing the zombies. If you don't remember that he does that, he removes the undead attribute. So your zombies can rout, which is kind of insane. As these Chaos Trolls try and help Herald take out some bomber mobs. The coast is holding on the north side just fine. Some Chaos Warriors with Halberds won't be enough to really put a dent in these guys. And I wonder if the Tzeentch caster will get the Skull of Catan combo off onto Noctilus, because he really needs to. This build doesn't have a lot that can kill Noctilus. Marauder Horsemen were completely thwarted on that flank. The Deck Gunners are still alive, and the Night Terrors haven't gotten to be used yet. I think they just want to go isolate Festus and Herald and get some good stuff done there. There's the final transmutation, but there's no Skull combo. It's not Overcast either. Okay, so it looks like he didn't want to go for the combo just yet. That seems weird, but okay. Lampe's Revenge trying to isolate Herald while Festus chases around Deck Gunners forever. And the Warriors of Chaos are just going to get picked apart wherever they aren't. And I'm really not liking this caster spending his Winds of Magic so flippantly when he needs to use that Skull combo with Final Trans Overcast on Noctilus to snipe him out. But, like, if you burn Undercast Final Trans and then you use some Searing Dooms and stuff, like, you're never going to have the Winds of Magic you need to get the real combo off. You don't see Coast much anymore? Yeah, they fell behind in the meta. Herald is taking a lot of damage. Healing Elixirs is out from Festus to try and heal him up a little bit. The Lamprey's Revenge are proving their worth and trying to bully this little guy around. Deck Gunners successfully got away from Festus. Chaos Warriors are still fighting in weird isolated little pockets where they can. And the Night Terrors are still just sitting back, not really bothering. Maybe he forgot them? Yeah, they got attack orders, so he did forget them. But I don't honestly hate keeping them back until the Skirmish Cav and Halberds are all dealt with, which now they are, so you can move them up. But looks like he did just forget them a bit, too. What's the combo? You can take this thing. Skull of Catan gives you 120% spell mastery. Oh, he fucked it up somewhere. That's a shame. Because he used his skull, but not correctly. So it can make an Overcast Final Transmutation, like, much more effective. And that could be really cool. That's the combo. It looks like it didn't get done correctly here. Regardless of how weak Coast is, there's always ways to nerf more. That could be true. Festus does not have ITP, so he could terror out away from the Night Terrors any moment. Same with that Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, who is routing. Herald Hammerstorm is unbreakable. He'll be fine. But I think the Coast have taken just complete control of this game at this point. They are going to rout off the Chaos Warriors with Halberds soon. And that would be GG. They're just out. They're out of it. They can't grind through all these Coast zombies. Dang. That was really nice. A lot of Deck Gunners kiting them out. Frontline was fine. Just good spacing by the Coast. Really kept the Warriors of Chaos on a leash and just walked them around the map. I like it. I dig it. I don't want to fast forward too early and just be like, oh, it's over, and like miss something potentially cool, but this is looking doomed as hell. Wraithstorm's going to hit the Halberds, and that will rout them off for sure. Bile Trolls will also rout by being shot by Deck Gunners while they're already low on leadership. Lampe's Revenge is just going to back off and get some healing. Make sure they're okay. Don't even want to risk them getting overexerted. Something sent Herald flying, and now he's in the middle of a whole nother crab mob that's just going to shotgun him and stab him to death. Kind of surprised this hasn't army lost out. We still have some full health Animated Hulks. We still have healthy Night Terrors. Still have healthy Lampe's Revenge. Another healthy gunnery mob. There's so much left. I guess it's the 3 single entities of the Warriors of Chaos. The game's like, they can do it! And I'm like, no, they can't. No, they can't. Who's Nylon Pantsuit? It's Niharthanarphanep. The fucking guy. You're gonna see his name in the end game screen. Quick final transmutation out onto the 2 crabs. Did a lot of damage there. I just did fast forward because this shit is ogre. There we go. Lunatic shit going on there. There it is. Nyar Lathotep. Nyar, that one. It's nylon pantsuit. For Imperator Mortis, crab mobs both did fantastically. Night Terrors didn't do much. Deck Gunners did actually very well, which is not something you get to say about Deck Gunners very often. And zombie mobs did okay. For Nylon Pantsuit, his caster did well. Harry did okay. Festus didn't do very much. His trolls just got routed off over and over and over again until they shattered. And his Marauder Horsemen had nothing to do, unfortunately. GG. Game 1 between them. Hey, you guys are supposed to be behind the blocker. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, game 2. He had to split up his name so people could pronounce it, and I still couldn't. Tomb Kings versus the OP Empire. Four Hawkland long rifles and 2 cannons versus the Tomb Kings. That's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good build. I like it. For Imperator Mortis, we do have the Tomb Kings, 2 Sporkle Stalkers, and 2 Nakar Horsemen, 1 on each flank. Scream Skill Catapult, 2 Shop Greatbows, 1 of which is the Chosen of the Gods, front line of Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Warriors. We have Arc in the Black in the very far back, Fate of Being a Spirit Leech, and his summons. 3 Carrion in the Vanguard. On the other side, for the Empire, 4 Hawkland Long Rifles, 2 Cannons, Grundrel's Defenders, then a bunch of Spearmen and Flagellants. I think I mentioned Toddy, and then we have our own Spirit Leech Fate of Being a caster, with a Doom and Darkness caster as well. And the Carrion all land to try and stay out of the Hawkland Long Rifle's shots. That's funny. That right there, peak comedy. The Carrion then rise up into the sky, and they do charge straight into the Deathcaster. They're trying to bully him. I don't know how much damage they can actually do. Thankfully for them, they don't have to worry about being close to the white line since they're undead. They're not going to rout anyway, but this seems a bit literal. As Boris, the Deathcaster, and then, of course, the Hawk Long Rifles are going to mess these guys up. Overcasting Doom and Darkness on them already to try and get them to start crumbling or even disintegrating faster. Meanwhile, Hawk and Long Rifles are going to outshoot these Shopty Greatbows pretty easily. So I'm very concerned about this start. The Tomb Kings are having a bad fucking time with this start. That's not going great. Not going great at all. Do Stalkers and Bow Shopties get blocked by the Steam Tank? I don't believe so. I think they count as artillery. Nakar Horsemen trying to weave between the lines. Flagellants try to close the gap, but they might have presented one. As they try and close the gap, looks like the Nakar Horsemen are going to go around. Nope, they just charge straight into them. Charged straight into the Flagellants. Tried to weave through, but couldn't quite get there. Ooh, but there they get there. Nakar Horsemen are through. They get onto one of the cannons, the Ushopti Greatbows, taking a lot of damage, but they are firing back on the Hawkland Long Rifles. Can the Grundrel's Defenders find a place to be? As some of these Nakar Horsemen are through, some are still fighting the Flagellants, but they're doing their best to stop the Hawkland Long Rifles from shooting for now. In the distance, all of the Carrion are dead, but Boris dives into the Sporkle Stalkers alone. They do have anti-large, they do have armor piercing. They don't have the best stats, but they'll do okay if they're left alone to fight just Boris. Hawkland Long Rifles, one is routing, a cannon is routing. The Nakar Horsemen aren't that damaged. Well, that one is, but this one's completely fine and could finish routing those guys off whenever it pleases. Hawkland Long Rifles still firing at the Chosen Gods and the regular Shop Greatbows. Both are very low, but neither are dead just yet. The Tomb King's front line is far superior to what the Empire has brought. This Spearman does need to move up in front of the Hawkland Long Rifles that are currently getting attacked by Skeleton Spearmen for free, though now with Arkin here, Arkin could just throw a summon behind it, block those Spearmen from coming up, and then the Hawkland Long Rifles are dead. He's going to do exactly that, so that is good play from the Tomb Kings. A little bit of a whoopsie from the Empire being punished. Sporkle Stalkers sneak their way, the sneaky snakes they are, sneak their way through to the back line. They do need to turn downhill and start firing. Chosen the Gods and the Regular Ushapti. Regular Ushapti's just about dead. Chosen the Gods are doing okay for now. How's Boris? Boris is beating the Eyes of the Desert. Good for him. Empire's rough these days. Any factions counter them? Not really. I wouldn't say anybody counters them. Kislev can do fine into them, I guess. I don't know. Like, the best matchups versus the Empire are just, like, even. Amethyst Wizard does dive down to try and stop some of the Sprockle Stalkers who are killing off his Hawk Long Rifles, but Arkanth shows up with a Spirit Leech to just get rid of him. He's tired of that Amethyst Wizard being around. He does take care of him. Cannons firing their last as they will soon be shut down. The Empire has lost all of their ranged. Nedkar Horsemen just dominating the flanks, running around, making sure the Hawk Long Rifles and cannons that do route keep routing. And I think this is the danger of bringing no cavalry or no mass to keep anything alive, because if anything routes, then you just get infinitely charged down. Boris is still alive. He hates clearing out massive amounts of infantry. He's going to try to bail out one of these Hawk Long Rifles, but he's getting shot by the Eyes of the Desert all along the way. Should not take this fight right in front of those anti-large shooty boys. That is le bad. Kind of surprised that Ushapti Greatbows lived through all that focus fire. Boris gets back to the sky. That will present him as a fine target for these guys to shoot on the way in if they can reload in time. Looks like they get a couple mini shots off. And then the Ushapti summon of the Tomb Kings is getting summoned right here to harass Boris a bit. Looks like he's thinking about trying to leave this place after taking all that damage. The Empire front line is holding for now, but it's getting shot in the back by these Sprockle Stalkers. Nedkar Horsemen could come start charging them soon. And the Chosen of the Gods, as well as Scream Skull Catapults, still pounding these guys. It's just tough. It's tough to be an Imperial in 2024. Not really. But it's tough in this specific game. Another Spirit Leech onto Boris to just tax his HP pool. He is slowly healing it all back up, but only to a certain point. His healing cap's already well within sight. Sprockle Stalkers in the distance. Sneaky snakes slithering their way in. Rout the Swordsmen. Flagellants are so low, it doesn't really matter that they're unbreakable. And army losses is honestly coming in soon. Boris, as most factions do when they get very, very far behind, goes for a Desperation Lord Snipe at the end of the game, but it is looking like the end of the game.
Don't give them an inch.
Tomb King's playing this really well. Yeah, Imperator Mortis is an undead specialist, but when he gets his undead, he plays him pretty darn good. Army losses hits, and a couple wounded flagellants is not enough to win the game. That's a 2-0 to Imperator Mortis over fuck it. Nylon Pantsuit. I'm actually trying to pronounce it, and I actually can't. Good damage from his quote-unquote weapons teams. Good damage from his horsemen, too. For Gnar, his Hawk and Long Rifles were doing okay. He just couldn't keep them online. The cannons didn't have much to do, unfortunately. So I wouldn't go with 4 Hawk and Long Rifles. I'd probably go 2 and 2, or just 4 Hawk and Long Rifles, no cannons. But it was too much range to defend, and Tomb King swarmed him. Swarmed him. Righty. I have one that I know some players will be excited in, but I'm worried it'll be one-sided. I have another one that some players will be interested in, but I'm worried it'll be one-sided. These two should be pretty close. So we'll do pretty close, and then we'll do ones that I strongly suspect will be one-sided. So we'll flip back and forth. For the pretty close, we'll start with Inkars and Bahrain. Dark Elves and High Elves for game 1. El Clasico. Inkars. There we go. Hey, it's Vulture Ridge. I had to play on this map. He only had 2 Cavians, felt like 3. Yeah, he microed them really well. For Bahrain's Dark Elves, we do have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark, Soul Stealer. Still very strong after several nerfs in a row. Still seems to be the Dark Elves' Lord of Choice, though with the nerfs, it's slowly creeping up that they're picking some other stuff. We have Bleak Swords and Dread Spears and Witch Elves for frontlines, some Dark Shards with shields, and some Cold One Knights. On the flanking High Elves, sneaky High Elves, Illyrian Reaver Archers and the Heralds of the Wind were put in the vanguard. We have an Archmage of Metal with Plague of Rust and Searing Doom, some Dragon Princes, including the Fireborn. Spearmen frontline with Archers and Lothern Seaguard backing them up. Ogres Pride up there as well. But it is mostly this flank we are concerned with, as Siren Red Ruin is getting shot in the face by a whole bunch of Archers. The Heralds of the Wind and other Illyrian Reavers are going to claim themselves some free Dark Shards who don't see it coming. Getting swarmed. Siren Red Ruin taking a lot of damage, but so is Rahagra's Pride in a nasty fight with the Witch Elves and these Cold One Knights. The Cold Knights get Overcast and Plague of Rusted while the Silver Helms charge in, giving them only 30 armor, allowing the Silver Helms' high stats to come through. That's usually the High Elf problem, is their stats are really high, but they don't have armor-piercing cavalry, which can get pretty difficult to deal with. Topside fight is going much better for the Dark Elves, but the flank fight is going great for the High Elves. And then the south side is also going very well for them. They've almost taken out the Siren Red Ruin entirely. Archers still harassing that down. The Illyrian Reavers try and get them to rout. And Silver Helm still relying on 44 melee defense versus only 34 melee attack from the Cold One Knights to try and get through this while the Plague of Rust is active. But it has worn off, and they might need to leave this situation. Siren Red Ruin holds on to its leadership by 2. Things are getting a little scary for the High Elves after a very good start. Now they're struggling. Cold Knight's going to fight the Fireborn. Looks like the Fireborn will be getting the charge for free. And there's a nice Searing Doom on, honestly, too many Dark Elf units all stacked up on each other. Not loving that. Lothern Seaguard are still firing away, but the Dark Elves are just winning out on more of the fights than their opponents are. Having armor-piercing cav is a big upside. Archmage of Metal is chilling. Now, we do have to wonder what the Dragon Caster will be doing with her time. She has 1 breath attack left, just uses Soul Stealer for a bit of healing, but also to poke down both of the Dragon Princes. And the Dark Elves have a lot of money in her, whereas the High Elves just have a nice little Archmage on foot who is super cheap. So we'll see what damage they can get out there. Illyrian Reavers trying to charge back into the fight and take out the Siren Red Ruin once and for all. Dark Shards firing up and over the hillside to get into the High Elves. And the High Elf front line is losing. Their flanks are doing okay. I'm getting a little concerned for them. There's another Searing Doom to hurt them a little bit. Bloodrack Medusa is getting lower and lower. Now it's sub 1,000 HP, and there's still a full health Cold One Knight back there. The balance of power says it's even-ish, maybe slightly Dark Elf favor, but everywhere I look, the Dark Elves are winning, so I'm like, wait, where is... if it's even-ish, where are the High Elves doing well? Heralds of the Wind still trying to take out the Bloodrack Medusa. They do rout her, but it doesn't look like they're able to kill her. The Cold Knights are coming in, so it looks like the Heralds of the Wind are just going to dive quickly onto the Dark Shards, get a little bit of damage out before their fate is sealed by those angry Velociraptors coming uphill. Dark Elf Sorceress flying up above. Another Searing Doom comes out. I'm wondering if any of it will hit the dragon. One went like right through it. There, we had one hit. That's fun. But still, Dark Elf frontline winning. Slowly but surely. Bloodrack is back, but barely. And the Fireborn are going to take a very bad fight with Cold Knights. Cold Knights are getting a downhill charge, and the health disparity is gigantic, so it looks like the Fireborn are going to try and opt out of here, while the Cold Knights charge past where they used to be. A little confused, they might be. Dragon Prince is holding up the backline while Lothern Seaguard fired into point-blank range at the Witch Elves, trying to clear them out. Maybe the High Elves can secure their backline, but to what end? Still have a full health Dragon Caster, still have a full health Cold One Knight. A nice Searing Doom. I guess maybe if you secure some Lothern Seaguard, still have some Dragon Princes, maybe you can get something going. It's a hard maybe. It's a lot of copium in that statement, but yeah. Dark Shards firing uphill into some Spearmen that are getting charged by the Supreme Sorcerer's Dark. She gets rid of them pretty easily, and the Fireborn are still leading these full health Cold Knights on a merry chase. The balance of power is getting worse and worse for the High Elves. Despite the High Elves kind of cleaning up the last remnants of the Dark Elves around, we still, as we've said, have the full health Dragon and the full health Cold Knights. That is really determining how this is going to go. Fireborn look like they can't run any longer. They do get charged at last by the Cold One Knights. And they will rout. And then once the Dark Elves bring their full fury back this way, it's going to be pretty brutal. The High Elves, to their credit, have made a little respite for themselves. These Witch Elves will rout soon as these Dragon Princes turn and get a downhill charge. It looks like another good Searing Doom on the Dread Spears will get rid of them. And this Dread Spear is getting shot by Larvan Sea Guards, soon to be charged by Dragon Princes and stuff. So they'll secure all this, but I really don't know what they can do to stop those two full health guys. Dragon Princes charge uphill into the Dread Spears, still get really good impact damage, still get rid of them. Both sides reforming. Times 2 speed while they reform for a little bit. Lance is couched, but a dragon lands literally on their face. Plague of Rust overcast onto them. Dragon Princes aren't going to turn around. It looks like the archers are going to try and punish them for this. As the Dragon Princes just go for a charge, they are going to get countercharged by Cold Knights, but maybe they can hit the Dark Shards in time. They hit them, like literally hit them, but I don't know how much damage they're actually going to do. The Searing Doom is out, but it looks like the Cold Knights are trying to dodge it. Dragon Prince is alright, the game just needs less broken units. Another Soul Stealer out on the Archmage of Metal. Not as much healing going to be gained from that one, because she's already like full HP, but just wanted to trigger army losses, which she does. The Dark Elves will win. Blood Dark Medusa only got 600 value. Cold One Knights did fine. Dark Elf Caster did fine. Witch Elves did amazingly well. Dark Shards, one got shut down, the other one did okay, and Bleak Swords did well. For Incars, Silver Helms of Dragon Princes did okay. Rahagras Pride did alright. Leon Reavers did okay. Love and Seaguard did pretty well, and then Spearmen got trashed. What up, Death Rabbit? How you doing? First game goes to Bahrain. Game 2. Got ourselves greenskins. Maybe our first greenskins of the day? I think it is. Versus Dark Elves. Will the Dark Elves go 2-0 and bring us to Game 3? Will this be it? And that is a wild build from Incars. Quadruple Doomfire Warlock. We got the dark version of this map, which is sad. So for the greenskins, we have Night Goblin Fanatics plus a Goblin frontline. Squig Herds and Stone Trolls to back them up a bit. Orc Arboys for a bit of constant DPS. And then Savage Orc Warboy Biggins. Night Goblin Warboss with his Rampage and Net. And then a Giant River Trolley with Fate Beam and Spirit Leech. On the side, 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, 4 Doomfire Warlocks, one of which is the Slaanesh Harvesters with all of their bound spells. And their magic damage should get through the Savage Orc Warboys without much issue. They have a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows with Pendulum and Melkoths. Then a backline of Dread Spears and Dark Shards in a teeny tiny little box. But the Doomfire Warlock's already off to a good start, taking out entire Savage Orc Warboy Biggin, which is 1,000 gold. That's nothing. Highway. Another Savage Orc Warboy Biggin off the field. So that is 2,000 gold for the greenskins. Just dead. Another good flank from the Doomfire Warlocks. Also getting some more Arboys. Wow. Okay, Dark Elves are just sweeping this one. Front lines are about to collide. We'll see if the Fanatics can use their spinny loons through the tightly packed up Dark Shards. That would actually be gigantic right now if they do that. But there's a Soul Blight trying to get these guys to rout before they use the spinning loons. I don't want to miss the loons if they're going to happen. But the Doomfire Warlocks are rolling through this back line right now. Scourge Runner Chariots just looking for something to shoot at the moment. And the greenskins look like they're going to rout. Still no loons. I don't want to miss it as the Doomfire Warlocks pile up on things. Now, last Savage Orc Warboy Biggin, Stone Trolls, and the Lord. There are some loons. They're all trying to stop the Doomfire Warlock charge. But look at those loons. I knew they were too clustered up. I knew they were too clustered up. Look at it. Look at all that damage. 2/3 HP off one, 3/4 off the other. And all of a sudden, all those Dark Shards are routing. That is brutal stuff. As one of the Doom Bolts that's bound to the Doomfire Warlocks keeps the Stone Troll routing by just doing a little bit of extra damage to him. Scourge Runner Chariots firing away at the River Troll Hag, getting a little bit of damage here and there. But man, that was a disaster for the Dark Elves. Those spinning loons going straight through that clumped up mess. In comes a nice Pendulum down the line. Does some good damage to all the Goblins. That might be too little too late for the Dark Elf box. Doomfire Warlocks taking a lot of damage. Do not enjoy sustained combat with trolls and boar boys and all that stuff. Ooh, that'll be a good rear charge. That should get rid of a lot of stuff. Squig herds, goblins all gonna rout. Dragon Princes can tank better than a lot of cav. Yeah, they can. We have another Doombolt coming for the River Troll Hag, while the Scourge Runner Chariot still trying to snipe her out. They're going all in on sniping that lady, and it's proven to be difficult. She is quite tanky, has some healing, and not the worst leadership in the world. Doomfire Warlocks still trying to rear charge their way through the greenskin front line, but it's just going nowhere, and it's going nowhere fast. Another spinning Luna's out, but it won't be nearly as juicy without the giant blob of clustered up dark shards for it to tear through. Full health Stone Trolls, full health Savage Orc Boar Boy is going to be a problem, but in comes the Manticore Caster. Immediately routes off the giant River Troll Hag and is under attack by the Night Goblin War Boss, but she might be able to turn and mess him up real good. Scourge Runner's still trying to finish off the River Troll Hag and just get rid of that, secure a bit of advantage in the form of a mage. The Dark Elves have reformed lines, significantly depleted and damaged lines, but like they're there, you know, they're existing. We have a half-health Doomfire Warlock, 2 almost dead ones, and then I don't know where the 4th one is. It looks like it is completely dead. Something horrendous, horrific, and awful happened to the Supreme Sorceress while I was looking at the rest of the battlefield, as she is entirely dead. And Savage Orc Boar Boy begins charging through, shattered her. Looks like she's going to die to the Spirit Leech, and then the Dark Elves will take a bit of a leadership spike that's really going to hurt this front line that was attempting to hold over there. Slunish's Harvesters are in, diving onto the River Troll Hag as another bound Doombolt careens for her, but it might be too little too late, as the Dark Elves already lost their Lord and Casters. That's double bad. Night Goblin War Boss is still above half HP. Ooh, this is turning into a bit of a disaster, though. The last healthy Savage Orc Boar Boy is taking a lot of damage. The Scourge Runner Chariots are managing to rout off some of the archers. River Troll Hag's trying to regen her way back into the fight as Doomfire Warlocks take another fight, and they're also rear-charging these Orc Armor Boys to get rid of them once and for all. Can they complete the Lord Snipe on the Greenskins? Because then the Stone Trolls are just putty in your hands that you can mold into a terrified, routing, gibbering mass. But we'll see as the Savage Orc Boar Boys try and take the fight. They charge into the Doomfire Warlocks. This is really the game-deciding fight right here. Can the Doomfire Warlocks kill off the Savage Orc Boar Boys and secure themselves the Lord Snipe, or will they lose and fail? River Troll Hag's trying to rally, but it looks like the Scourge Runner Chariots are still trying to stop her from doing that. These other Scourge Runner Chariots are trying to stop these Night Goblin Fanatics from rejoining the battle. Savage Orc Boar Boys getting very low on leadership and HP, but the Fanatics will not be stopped. If they can get in here and throw a clump down there. Back to kind of nutty. Here's a rampage up from the Doomfire Warlocks that they can't dodge. There go the spinning loons. Straight through the lines. Not as much damage as you would expect, but I suppose these guys are very, very low. Dark Elves falling behind the balance of power as more and more spears are starting to rout. Dark Shards still firing away at Stone Trolls, seeing what they can do. The Scourge Runner Chariots have 2 shots left, and they are trying to make them count. The Doomfire Warlocks routing off away from the Night Goblin War Boss. And the Scourge Runner Chariots do not keep the River Troll Hag routing. She comes back, and now she's fighting with them. Maybe she can get some Spirit Leeches off or something, keep regenerating up. It is a close game, but it's starting to turn against the Dark Elves as the Stone Trolls are staying in the fight. Other Stone Trolls are returning. Dark Shards are trying to get over here and get something done. Scourge Runner Chariots, I don't know if like they didn't count for enough balance of power, so she just rallied in their face, or if they fell behind her or something, but her coming back is a bit of a disaster. If she routes one more time, she shatters, though. She's routed twice already, so that could be something. Could. Still have some Dark Shards with a lot of ammunition and a decent amount of models, 56 and 57 models apiece. The Stone Trolls aren't exactly feeling top-notch either. Spirit Leech is out from the River Troll Hag as she tries to push back the Scourge Runner Chariots. Other Scourge Runners are chasing off Night Goblin Fanatics. And spears routing and shattering as the Dark Shards try and hold, try and fire in. Goblins charging over. Can the Doomfire Warlocks keep these little guys safe? I don't think it matters. I don't know if these 2 Dark Shards even have enough. And they're unfortunately clustered on top of each other, so they're blocking their own shots. You can see some of them say they're obstructed. It's because they're in their own way. That's a 2-0 to Bahrain. Greenskin Cav. One of them did fantastically. The other 2 got rolled. Orc Armor Boys and the Fanatics did a lot of work too. For Incars, it was a cool attempt with a unit that no one takes, but the Scourge Runners and the Doomfire Warlocks got decent value. They weren't able to do enough. And then their infantry just getting rolled by the Fanatics was really brutal. GG. Alright. Next series, I am worried it won't be close, but people do want to see it. It's the return of Crabbling. So Crabbling, if you don't know, is a Russian player, and he's like really, really good. And then I don't think he's taking a break from Warhammer 3. He's just taking a break from tournaments that I've been involved with. But I know he like still streams and stuff on his end. So we have Crabbling versus Paolo Alber, who I think is newer. I don't think he's like completely new, but I don't know. I wouldn't put Crabbling as like a tournament favorite, in that I expect him to win the tournament, but I would put him as like a tournament favorite for being like top 4, if that's the qualifying, you know? But I think my tournament favorite is Alfredino. So this is rough, like maybe 3rd or 4th best in the tournament versus someone who's like fine. Yeah. Did your series get streamed yet, Black? I thought somebody else claimed it. Anyway. Crabbling taking his Skaven, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, and then a bunch of Clan Rat Spears. We have triple Warplock Jezzails, some Rat Ogres, excuse me, some Skaven Slaves, Chieftain on Bonebreaker, and Ikit Claw with Howling Warp Gale, Warp Lightning, and Flensing Ruin. Making sure you guys weren't still behind a blocker. The other side for the Lizardmen, Ripperdactyl Riders, a Slann Mage Priest of Life, more Ripperdactyls, a Rev Crystal as well, and then a bunch of Skinks with the Legion of Chakwa. Okay, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned already for this Lizardman build. Because Skinks take a long time to get through the Skaven front line. And I'm worried there's not a lot of DPS here. There's a lot of healing, but what are you healing? I guess the Ripperdactyls, maybe? Still. I think they need Feral Cold Ones. I think, honestly, Dread Saurians are still pretty good against Skaven. They haven't been nerfed. People just stopped taking them. Ripperdactyls are fine, but I don't like the build around them as much. As Jezzails. 3 Jezzails are out shooting any skirmishing these Skinks can do. They just gotta hurry up and rush. Kiting Skaven is not easy to do, and most factions can't do it anymore. I think the only one that really can kite Skaven is maybe Wood Elves, and it's not nearly as good as it was in Game 2. But for now, the longer Lizardmen take, the more they're just going to get shot. To their credit, they're trying to get in here. These guys are stalling out a little bit. They're waiting for their other front line to get here, but Crabbling's just taking the time to freely fire onto Skink Skirmishers. Not worried at all, not in a rush. Go him, go. Jezzail's sniping all these little skinks. Not much they can do about it. It's true, Phoenix King. It's true. I did write that. I always write that. Sounds like the most me thing to do ever. Jezzail's trying to snipe out some of the Ripperdactyl Riders. It's fine. It's decent. Ikit Claw's not around to net them in place or anything, but it's still good value. You're not overly worried about the skinks. Now, Crabbling doesn't have any Poison Wind Globes, but you don't really need them to kill Skinks. You have Clan Rats, you have Rat Ogres, you have Jezzails, but in the late game that won't matter. But Ikit Claw in your front line should be enough. And the Jezzails, yeah, they're just wrecking the Ripperdactyls. And Paolo needs to commit. He needs to get something done, because, like, he is kind of piecemeal feeding. These guys are going to get netted right now. Anyway, he's kind of piecemeal feeding these guys into their deaths. Like, this guy's going to get netted right here in front of 3 Jezzails. Called it, overcasted so it lasts longer. And that's the second Ripperdactyl Rider just deleted. I mean, the Jezzails aren't doing as much damage as I would have expected, but they're still going to do enough. So we still have 2 Ripperdactyls left alive. One's coming in now. The other one is still sitting AFK next to the Slann. As y'all still say ridiculous things. The Ripperdactyls are trying to get on some of the Skaven, but yeah. I mean, Crabbling is very, very good. His micro's on point. You can see no units are really out of position or not doing what they need to do. And then you can just kind of see that Paolo's newer. Like, not trying to be a dick about it. We have tons of newer players in our community, and we very much invite you to come join. But sometimes the luck of the draw, you just get, like, somebody has to fight Alfredino, Crabbling, Berserk in the early rounds, and it's going to happen. And how the tournament works, if you care, while we watch the Skaven just shoot the shit out of Lizardmen for a little bit longer, everybody starts at 0-0, which that round happened. It's round 2 started today. So now the groups are everybody who won their first matchup versus everybody else who won their first matchup, and everybody who lost versus other people who lost. So round 2 should have theoretically closer matchups, like we saw me versus Stingers at the start of the thing. We both won our first round. So that was a pretty close match. Went all 3 games. The Stingers ended up prevailing. Lizardmen doing okay on the balance of power, but I really don't think that is true, judging by like the actual state of the game. The Skaven shooting is all completely online. Their front line is very healthy. It gets healthy, and Rat Ogres are healthy. The balance of power just doesn't really recognize how doomed this is yet. As the Skaven are now shooting down the Legion of Chakwa. They've just ignored the Life Salon and the Rev Crystal for most of the game up till now, because they know it's more important to take out the things that those guys would heal, rather than take them out, because you don't have the time. Like, obviously, you'd take them out if you could before dealing with the stuff that's going to get healed, but he doesn't have to. He's just killing everything off. I'll fight this rank 1 tournament legend. Yeah, that'd be a little hard. But you are seeing some of, like, the skill expression on display, and that is something I like. I do think some people focus too hard on builds. Builds are important. It's a strategy game. The faction you, like... Everything goes into it. Your pick and ban is a skill set. Like, I lost the Stingers because I didn't have a deep enough faction pool that I was practiced up on. I picked a bad matchup in game 3 and I got fucking canned. So, like, pick and ban matters. Builds matter, but also just play matters. Like, I think Palo's build was okay. I would have done some slightly different stuff, but, like, Ripperdactyls plus healing is strong into Skaven. But you can see, like, just the difference in play of a super top-level player versus someone who's not. And, like... Again, I'm not trying to throw shade here. I lost earlier today, right? I'm not like, I'm the greatest player of all time, but I'm going to just shit on some noobs. But it's like, it's pretty clear there was a skill difference there. Crabling's amazing. Like, it's fine. Have you seen my games versus, like, Alfredino, Crabling, and Hanadins? They're not pretty. I still lose, like, really bad. So, you know. It's not like, oh, put me in. I'll win. He got rolled. He got rolled! Game 2? Game 2... I'm not going to cast that. It looks like it's just a build diff. It's Chaos Dwarves versus Dwarves, and the Dwarves brought 3 cannons, and the Chaos Dwarves brought a Dreadquake Mortar, which means the Dreadquake Mortar dies right away. Crabbling 2-0. Yeah. It's good to see Crabbling. It's good to see him. Hopefully is round 2. He gets someone else epic, so we can get some good replays out of that. But let's grab ourselves another closer matchup. We have It's Current Year versus Saltier Than You. It's Current Year. I don't know if I'd call him a streamer, because he doesn't, like, stream much, but he's around. It's Current Year. He has a YouTube channel. He's a content creator. I don't know if I'd call him a streamer. And then Saltier Than You. He's been around. I think he took a break from the game for like a long time. Because he posted in my Discord a lot more at the end of Warhammer 2. And then like the Warpstone Cup came up and he just kind of reappeared. Scott with the $10. Zuriak, the tank, with 5. So happy to crush on this channel. Wishing you all the best. More subscribers. Skaven are still S tier. Skaven are not S tier. I am. Ooh. And then Scott didn't write a message. He just sent a donation. Thank you very much to both of you. I'm sorry I didn't see it earlier. Romulan Dog, yeah. Crabling's good. He's been around for a while. But we have a game to cast. For the Beastmen, Blackhorns, Ravagers, and Bestigors. Bestigors? Goreherds, Bestigors. This is an elite Beastman build. There's no Ungors here. It's all Gores and Bestigors. Okay, Centaurs, Manticores, Malagor, and Butch the Counting Guard. We have Witch Elves on the Dark Elf side. Dread Spears, more Witch Elves. Spring Sorcerers of Beasts. Up on a Dragon, but with Panzer Propelled Flock of Doom. No Soul Stealer. Do have Bloodrack Medusa, then Dread Spears, Witch Elves, and Cavalry. Did people forget how to beat Skaven? I beat Skaven all the time. What are the meta races right now? Kislev, Dwarves, Empire, Bretonnia, Grand Cathay, Tzeentch, Lizardmen, Dark Elf. Nice pendulum down from Malagor already. Gets some decent damage out here, and the Black Rose Ravagers need to kind of push through the front line, but his current year does get attacked on his Dragon Lord by a Feral Manticore and Harpies. Immediately lands and lets his Dark Riders get a nice rear charge in. His Cold Knights are going to peel off the Centaurs. So far, things are going okay for the Dark Elves. They're fine with it. Beastmen front line, winning in the center, kind of losing on the flanks a bit, but in comes the Centaurs rear charging out of Dread Spears, getting a lot of damage out. It looks like they're going in for a nice wrap on these Dark Riders who don't even suspect it. They don't even know it's coming. Oh, God. Oh, they're dead. They're dead as hell. Those are the deadest dead boys I've ever seen. Routes them off, saves the Manticore, saves the Butchers of Calgard as well, and they try and finish off the Siren Red Rune, but they are fighting on top of Witch Elves, though. There comes a Pendulum for that, so really big play on this blob from the Beastmen to try and get back in this game. Back in it, not that they were that far out, but like some things were not going their way, so this was pretty nice. Nice Pendulum also hurts the Witch Elves a little bit. They should tear out away from the Butchers of Calgard soon. Though, the Centaurs were not able to really get that much damage on the Siren Red Ruin. Malagor is also joining in the fight, really determined to get this Siren Red Ruin out of here. Feral Manticore still dealing with the Supreme Sorceress of the Beast, and she does not have Soul Sealers to get out of jail free healing or anything like that. Mr. Casual, thank you for becoming a Poison Wind Globadier. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hyberlisk, I don't mind it. I think, like, flat open maps are fine. We have plenty of them, so I don't mind. We do sprinkle in some that just have random trees. I think all of Game 3 having maps like that is stupid, but, like, you know. We have plenty of plain open maps that we pick from, so the variety is nice. Butchers of Calgard, the Manticore, still trying to snipe out the Supreme Sorceress of the Beast, who is just throwing out Flocks of Dooms to keep herself safe whenever she can. Siren Red Rune is getting low, but it doesn't look like the Beastmen are able to really seal the deal on it. And in the background, Cold Knights are cleaning up Centaurs. Things are slowly turning against the Beastmen. Their front line has fallen apart, so there's no more support for them. Another big Pendulum should do a lot of damage to those clustered up Dread Spears, and it does. But Malagor is now alone as Siren Red Rune beats up his Feral Manticore. He has no support and no friends. The Butchers of Calgard getting pushed away, and while they run from one bad fight, they have to run into another as there's Dread Spears and Cold Knights ready to receive them. Instead, they'll actually just try and opt out. Beastman getting a bit of a second wind coming back. Black Knight coming in with a Poison Globadier as well. Thank you. Dorminger. Beastman, Bestman. Yeah, if you're a Beastman fan, you're living your best life in this meta, because they're very strong, but they're not the strongest. So while the strongest get banned by people, they get into the game because, like, it's kind of like Munchkin, if you've ever played that card game. You want to be second. You want to be second best, because everybody focuses on the best. And, like, you know, in this version of the game, bans it in tournaments and stuff. And then Beastmen are good enough. I almost meant to say I get beat at Skaven all the time. I do. Yeah, way too many campaign though, Hyperlisk. Yeah, the problem you're running into is for sure the Game 3 maps have a bunch of tree acne. The maps that don't have it were from Game 2 and 1, which in tournaments we just pick maps we like. So, there's that. Fast forwarding is this seems really doomed. Malagor and the Butchers of Calgard cannot beat an entire Dark Elf army. I don't care what the balance of power says. This shit is Ogre. There it is. I'm gonna have Beastmen at my wedding. Yeah. Which, my wedding's coming up. What is it? 3 weeks? Pretty much 3 weeks. Sign of Red Ruin, 2,000 value from fighting those Manticores and Malagor and stuff. Dragoncaster, plus the Cavalry did very well. Witch Elves did very well. Dread Spears got wrecked. Look at this. Look at this little man. Look at the very bottom of your screen there. Mr. Meow. Mr. Meow. There he is. There's the boy. You love the boy. Who doesn't love the boy? Look at him. Look at him. Who doesn't love the boy? How could you not? He's such a man. This is Ed. He's 13. He is an old kitty, but we love him. For saltier than you, Malagor got a lot of value. Bestigors were not the sauce. They were not the sauce, Chief. Centaurs did okay. Manticores did okay. Bestigors did not do okay. On to game 2. It's current year, now repping the Beastmen. And Salty taking Lizardmen. With a wild build, that's Tehenowin and a bunch of Cold One Spear Riders. Both units I think are bad. Mr. Casual with the Czar 35, thank you, thank you. Hey there, Rusty. JC, that's great. I hope your wedding goes well. Not as well as mine, but I hope your wedding goes well. I want people to talk about mine. I want them to say mine is the best wedding ever, so I need yours to not go as well. It can go fine. It can go fine, but not as well. Did you have your bachelor party already? Yeah, dude. We watched John Wick and made fun of it a lot. Because, like, I enjoy the John Wick movies, but I also don't pretend they're good. So you, like, laugh at the silly plot points. So, it was good. It was fun. Oh! You had a bachelor party and you didn't go do anything cool or fun or awesome? Yeah, I'm streaming Warhammer on YouTube, and I have been for 3 years straight. I'm not a cool guy. I don't do cool guy shit. I go to work, I come home, I stream this, I go to bed. I get married to someone who likes Stardew Valley with her sister. I'm not a cool guy. Oh, your bachelor party, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing that's really important, really special. Want to watch a movie? You don't want to, like, go to Paris. You don't want to get drunk and ski down the pyramids. You don't want to go to the Great Wall of China and dig under it to steal a Cinnabon that's nearby. No, I want to watch a movie with my friends and have a good time. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. We also play board games because we're lit. Alright, Beastmen versus Lizardmen. Lizardmen brought a ton of skinks, a lot of Raptor Cav, Feral Cold Ones, and Cold One Spear Riders to try and get some dominance from the Beastmen away. We have Tehenowin flying through the sky with Curse of Honor here, and then Panzerpenetrable Belt. It looks like he's going to try and influence some of these cavalry fights by increasing his guy's stats and decreasing the other guy's stats. And, like, if you can get the cavalry fight versus the Beastmen to go well for you, then you can cycle charge their pathetic-ass infantry into the dirt. I guess that's the plan. For the Beastmen, we have Butchers, Cavalry Guard, Centaurs, stuff you're pretty used to seeing, a Traitor King caster, and then Pestigors, not Bestigors. Big cav fight in the woods. Now, unfortunately, Cold One Spear Riders do not have Woodsmen. Centaurs do, so the Centaurs aren't taking a debuff for fighting in the woods right now, while all of the Lizardmen are. Curse of Honor here lowers their stats pathetically low, but an Overcasted Traitor Kin plus the charge bonus of the Centaurs does appear to be enough to get them through this fight. They've already killed one Cold One Spear Rider, and they're working on the next. Another skink group is also leaving. So the Beastmen doing well on the bottom side. Top side is going more towards the Lizardmen, but there is still a lot to be decided, and the frontline fight is super Beastmen favored. They are crushing these skinks. And Saurus. Wow, those are Saurus. Okay. Okay. Just saying. Ha! That's saying, like Vegeta. I understood. I saw things. You didn't invite us to your bachelor party? I did not. I did not. To the honeymoon fun? Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, Great Bray Shaman, chilling around, fighting. You guys, stop having such interesting conversations that I want to engage with. Let me cast the video game. Let me do what I came here to do. As Pestigors team up with Centaurs to deal with some of these feral cold ones, Tehenowin is stuck down in there fighting for his life. Elsewhere, some of the... I almost said greenskin. Don't know why. Some of the Lizardmen cavalry is falling back, trying to get away from some of those spears and such. But man, it's looking tough, because the Beastmen have so much infantry left that they can just reconsolidate with the Butchers and Cavalry Guard, keep these Centaurs with throwing axes safe, their Lord is safe, and they'll be just fine. So they need to just kind of regroup a little bit. They don't want to get too drawn out, because then, like, imagine Saltier Than You took some of his cavalry that's down here and just swooped over here and completely isolated and killed off these guys. That would be terrible for the Beastmen. I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't know if he even can do it, as this guy's about to rampage away. This other guy's getting Traitorkind, which slows him down. There's no Centaurs, though. They're just Pestigors. Though, my god, the Pestigors are still catching them. Because the Cold Blood Spear Riders are getting stuck on nothing. They can't get through the woods. Pestigors are catching up. Ah, well. Now it's actually turning into an opposite pincer, as the Beastmen are closing in on both sides, and all of a sudden the Lizardmen have nowhere to go. Blackheart's Ravagers are getting under the feet of the Cold and Spear Riders. Looks like these Cold and Spear Riders just accept their fate and turn around to fight the Butcher's Calvin Guard to the last, while the other ones attempt to get away. And at this point, Notice how in favor it is for the Beastmen that I'm not even talking about what the Lizardmen can do to win the game. I'm talking about what the Lizardmen can do to survive the battle. As some of the Cold and Spear Riders were trying to get away, they get attacked by Centaurs, so they have to turn and fight, but they are falling apart. The balance of power is super fraudulent because this is a Beastman victory all the way to the bank. There is nothing the Lizardmen can do at this point. I'm streaming the wedding? Yeah. Grace will love that. Grace will love that. Okay. Real talk for a second, as we watch the Lizardmen slowly get choked out of their life. Real talk. I know I'm a piece of shit. I know that. I know I'm terrible. You know what Grace had to say to my face, and it hurt my feelings. You know what she said? This is a real story. This is real. Grace was talking to me, and as we were going through stuff for our wedding, she said, "Have you written your vows yet?" I said yes. She looked at me. I said what? She looked at me. I said what again? And a little more annoyed this time. And she said, "There's not any Skaven stuff in your vows, is there?" And I'm like, no! Come on! I can separate that out. I can appreciate that I shouldn't meme at our wedding. Okay? I'm better than that. We have like 100 guests showing up. Maybe 2 of them know what Skaven even are. I'm a little better than that. But my fiance and future wife, who's known me for 5 years, had turned to me and say, "There's no Skaven stuff in there, is there?" No! Come on! Come on! It hurt a little bit. It hurt a little bit. I didn't like that. Sweet memes in real life. There is a meme in my vows, but it's not Skaven related. It's a meme that like 30 people out of 100 would get. But not like 2. I'm not gonna do a Skaven meme for myself and then one of my groomsmen, Josh. And then I guess Grace would get it, so 3. But Grace would hate it, so it'd only be funny to me and Josh. Grace would be fuming. When the priest asks you to take her as your wife, say yes, yes. When I give her the ring, she has this very nice flower, like it's metal, right? But the metal is shaped into the thing of like a vine with flowers on it. When I'm supposed to give her that ring that she knows, it's just like a hunk of fucking Warpstone. And she's like, "What?" And I just put it on her finger for the bit. I like in this version, I have Warpstone. And I would find it funny to give her Warpstone. Not like, it's not a big deal at all that I have fucking Warpstone in real life. It's like, no, it'd be kind of a funny prank. It'd be kind of a funny thing. Anyway, that game ended. I was commenting on it seriously until it got so one-sided that it was over. Then I just talked to you about the wedding stuff for a bit. How long have you been streaming? 3 hours? This is kind of wrapping up. Don't go anywhere just yet. This is kind of wrapping up. I'll peruse through my last round 1 replays and see if there's any really good ones. And we can check those out. Otherwise, we'll do the outro. Okay. I have 3 series left in my entire pool. That one could be good. Okay, we'll stream one more best of 3. Stream one more best of 3. Oi! Oi! MTK's Urian versus Borgash. The other best of 3s I have, I'll do as independent videos later, but for today's stream, we'll just do this last BO3. If you are not subscribed, please consider doing so. I know a lot of you are Legend of Total War viewers, so you watch a lot of campaign and stuff. But if you have any interest in multiplayer land battles, then I am your guy. I don't really do domination. I do some multiplayer campaigns from time to time. With either friends or another streamer, Radiant Ash. She's cool. So we do a bit of that stuff. I post a video every single day. Land battle replays, or lore videos, or memes, or bugs. So the day-to-day videos are a little more varied. The streams are mostly land battle multiplayer focused. If none of that sounds appealing to you, then fine, don't subscribe. But if you like land battles, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Don't wrap it up. I just got my kiddos in bed. Lenarm! Alright. Anyway, we have some Bretonnia versus some Greenskins here. For Bretonnia, got Pegasus Knights, got Royal Hippogriff Knights. Alberic de Bordelot. Are you on foot? That is foot Alberic de Bordelot. Foot Damsel of Life with just Earthblood. A Grail Relique, 2 Peasabome with Fire Arrows, a Damsel of Beasts with just Flock of Doom, and then a whole bunch of Halberds and Battle Pilgrims. I haven't seen a Bretonnian build like this in a very long time. Alright, it's a Bretonnian man box with a bunch of arrows. On the side of the Greenskins, we have Goblins charging up, Savage Orc Arboys, Squig Herds, Savage Orc Biggins to try and deal with some cavalry, but they'll still do fine against infantry, some Orc Boarboy Biggins, a Stone Troll, Rampage Caster, and a River Troll Hag. Is this a no-cav Brett build? They have 2 flying cav, but otherwise, yeah, it's no-cav. Archers are currently trading. Savage Orc Arboys slightly coming out on top due to better leadership, physical resistance, and missile strength. But the Bretonnian Archers are putting in a good word for it. Alberic is on the front line, pops Rally for even more leadership if the Grail Relique is nearby. That also helps further with the leadership of the Bretonnians. And some holes are appearing in the sides, though. I wonder if the Boarboy Cav will get around here and get into the box. So it looks like they're maybe thinking about just charging straight in. Stone Troll's also considering their options, but this is not the fight that the Greenskins were ready for. The Trident goes straight through. It does a lot of damage to the clumped up goblins, but it also has the minus 16 discouraged leadership effect, getting rid of the Squigs and the goblins right there. Right before the Wah comes in, part of the Greenskin frontline falls apart, so that is a bit of a disaster for them as Flock of Doom starts to poke down their backline. It is overcast, do extra damage. Pegasus Knights jump in for the rear charge, and the Hippogriff Knights are just kind of chilling for now, not being needed. Looks like that's why some of these Orc Boarboy Biggins are just sitting around. They're waiting for the Cav to come land where they can hit it or something. Wouldn't a fight in a wedding be considered a land battle? Ha. Ha ha. Ha. Anyway, Alberic's still fighting it out. We still have archers firing in occasionally, but the Bretonnian front line is just going nowhere. They are standing firm forever. Rally plus the Grail Relique. That's a lot of leadership. And the Greenskins have just hit a wall. Balance power is about 50-50, so I suppose the Bretonnians have taken some damage, like their front line isn't getting out of this scot-free. They're not breaking, but they're like taking a bunch of damage. I guess that is something, but both Pegasus Knight and the Royal Hippogriff Knight are literally full HP, haven't had to do anything yet. Stone Trolls get through the front line. There's a Fate of Buna on the Beast Slayers of Bastogne. I don't hate that targeting. I don't. I'm curious it's not the Pegasus Knights, but I guess what's going on is the Greenskins brought a bunch of stuff to counter Knights. They didn't bring a bunch of stuff to counter just infantry spam. So they're using the Fate of Buna on the thing they're not ready for. Because if the Royal Hippogriff Knights ever land, there's 3 Orc Boarboy Biggins ready to catch them, and Rampages from this little Goblin. Which the Goblin's coming over here to rampage the Pegasus Knights down to these Orc Boarboy Biggins. So yeah, I don't hate that Fate of Buna on the Beast Slayers. It takes about half their HP. It's fine. Burning arrows are hurting the troll regen. Yes. Yes, they are. Grail Relique taking a couple shots here and there. Savage Orc Biggins trying to fight to the end. I wonder if they'll get the second Wah in time to give them the ITP they need to withstand that, but they don't. They terror out. And the Boarboy Biggins... Oh, they're finally in! I just realized that the Royal Hippogriff Knights had landed, because of course they did. Earthblood to heal up. Boarboy Biggins charge straight in, but the Hippogriff Knights get mostly into the sky, and now the Boarboy Biggins are just fighting on halberds. They do want to back off. There's the second Wah. It is too late, and there's actually not a lot of units that are getting to effectively use it. Off screen, the Pegasus Knights did get Rampage down. I'm guessing he is missing a use. Yes. So we rampage these guys, and they instantly die to the Orc Boarboy Biggins. 50-50 on the balance of power, and I definitely agree with the Savage Orc Biggins, and these Goblins are surrounding the Men-at-Arms polearms. And away from Alberic and away from the Grail Relique, these are just peasants at the end of the day. They are actually getting close to breaking already. But the Pegasus Knights got sniped out, and another Trident is down from Alberic, plus Flock of Doom spams. Just trying to get rid of these archers, trying to get rid of the Boarboy Biggins who do terror out away. And Stone Trolls on the back line, avoiding the Beast Slayers of Bastogne for now, just cleaving their way through the Peasant Bowmen, but the Royal Hippogriff Knights are here to end this once and for all. Those are some dead Stone Trolls. They ain't going anywhere. But might not be a father or other partner, but holy hell, I'm prepared if I ever become one. Yeah, dude, you're gonna do great. River Troll Hag getting attacked by Alberic, but he's on foot. She is faster. She can just lumber her way to safety. The Greenskin's still out and about. Oh, he's coming. Oh, he's coming. Is he going to be able to rampage the Royal Hippogriff Knights into his Boarboy Biggins? It looks like the Hippogriffs know something is up. They're heading back towards their own support. For the side of Bretonnia, they have a healthy Grey Relief that, is taking a lot of damage just as I was talking about it. Anyway, they do have a Grey Relief to still provide that extra leadership. They have some peasants, though their leadership is faltering and their damage is also faltering. Really, the bounce power in Bretonnia is in their 3 healthy single entities, 2 of which are fraudulent because they're foot mages who are running out of Winds of Magic. And then a full health Royal Hippogriff Knight, which is about to get rampaged. Are these Orc Boarboy Biggins in preparation? There it goes, there's the rampage! Orc Boarboy Biggins need to turn around! They gotta turn, they gotta fight! And they're coming in now. This is it, the game is on the line for, what is that? Spite of the Bad Moon, giving them more bonus versus large and extra damage. Tormentor Sword to net them in place while they're rampage. Some of the Royal Hippogriff Knights get up into the sky just because they're flying, but they get pulled back down. I would have liked to see the Tormentor Sword a little later after the Rampage wore off. You could have gotten a little bit more net time, but it looks like it is plenty as these Hippogriff Knights are getting schooled right now. They're fighting their best to try and get out of this bad situation, but it is a terrible situation as a third Boarboy Biggin is coming in to try and seal the deal on these Royal Hippogriff Knights. Mither slows them down by 60% if they even thought about leaving. There's a Spirit Leech. Everything is in onto sniping these guys, and Earthblood tries to heal them up. They have Terror, and it is starting to proc now. They get rid of one Boarboy Biggin. A second one is thinking about leaving, and that would leave the third all alone. But the Hippogriff Knights have taken so much damage, I don't know if it matters, but Bretonnia's pulling ahead on the balance of power. As the healing comes in, the healing is too strong. Stone Troll's back in the fight. Hippogriff Knights withstanding the pressure, pushing off all of the Boar Boys, despite the net, despite the Rampage combo, wasn't enough. It looks like the Hippogriffs are even going to take out the Night Goblin Warboss. They're going to get rid of the Stone Trolls. They're going to get rid of everything. And all of a sudden, Bretonnia has a good hold on this game. Yeah, good hold on this game. Some Savage Orc Arbor Boys, some Savage Orc Biggins are back into the fight. They're trying to kill off some stuff on the ends here, but Royal Hippogriff Knights just going to get healed up slowly. I guess there have been a lot of Flockadooms. There have been a lot of Earthbloods already, so I don't know how much healing is actually left for them. But it feels like enough. We still have 1 Fermented Fungi use from the Night Goblin Warboss, so it's not over just yet. Balance power is 50-50, though I'm getting increasingly concerned as the Stone Trolls shatter. This is worrisome. How did the Boars survive that? How did the Boars survive what? Are you talking about the Hippogriff Knights? How did the Hippogriff Knights survive that? Oh, here's the Rampage. Gets the Hippogriff Knights all alone next to the edge of the map. No halberds to save them, no mages, no Alberic, no nothing. As well. That's kind of funny. Some of the rampaging guys do just stay on the side of the map. They're fine, but they charge down. Fighting back against the Boarboy Biggins do get rid of them. And Tormentor Sword is down now, reducing their melee attack, keeping them netted in place, but the Board Boys are gone. There's really not a lot of DPS here. Here is a quick Spirit Leech from the River Troll Hag onto the Hippogriff Knights, really trying to kill those guys off. But it's just not amounting to too much. And now the Night Goblin Warboss might be in over his skis. He's taking a lot of damage. So are the Hippogriff Knights. 0 leadership on them. They'll be okay, and now this guy's going to rout. Not fighting near the Savage Orc Biggins or the Arbor Boys or anything could be detrimental. Really try to take out the Hippogriff Knights, but there's an Earthblood to keep them extra in it. Thanks, Greven. That's the nicest thing anybody's said about me, that I don't actively pay to say nice things about me. If I was the Greenskin player, I'd just be on tilt. They made all these big plays and nothing worked. Yeah, that was fucked up. that was fucked up. If anybody's out there saying Bretonnia's weak, just watch this game, and I don't know what to tell you. Bretonnia's still strong as hell. Are they the strongest faction in the game? No, not anymore, but they're still really fucking strong. River Troll Hag tries to hold it down, but a big terror out takes her out. There is army losses, and the Greenskins are defeated by the Bretonnians. Very, very good game. Hippogriff Knights, despite being focused, 2,900 value. I will say, it's not like Urian lucked his way into a win. Some of that was fucked up, sure. But he had a pretty strong game plan in mind. Remember, like, the first half of the game where he was just controlling the battlefield, holding the front line, getting a ton of shots off with his archers and his Hippogriff Knights, and Pegasus Knights just focused on getting nice rear charges. Borgash dragged him down with a couple beautiful rampages, but without the rampages, Urian was playing great. It wasn't like he just YOLO'd his Hippogriffs to die. They got rampaged every single time they landed. Yeah, Samaric, the Hippogriff Knights that left at, like, full HP, that was messed up. That was messed up. No spoilers, as that first game was an absolute certified banger. Don't want to know if it's 2 games or 3. Game 2 is a wild one. Very strange. Very odd. Especially considering that one of the players is down 1-0. I could see a game like this being the first game. But the second game? Actually, I guess the one taking the weird shit is up 1-0. Okay. So Urian's here. He took the Chill of Sontar, a Blackguard, and then Malice with a Beastcaster. This is just weird. Like, Malice is fine. The Blackguard are fine, but they're not meta. Blood Archmedusa is pretty standard. Oh, Phoenix King. Oh. It's weird that Lumen doesn't get Perfect Figure in multiplayer. Yeah. No, that is very odd, Hyperlisk. Not that Bretonnia needs the buffs, but it is weird. It definitely feels like a bug, because every other Grail unit has Perfect Figure. Okay. Either the last game of the stream or the second last game of the stream. Urian versus Borgash. We have Malice Darkblade, a Beastcaster with just Flock of Doom, 2 Dark Shards, Hellebronai and Blackguard and Agarond, and then a bunch of Dread Spears and Bleak Swords. We have the Chill of Sontar, Sirenwood Ruin, Crows of Cain. For the Beastmen, who have been doing very well today, we'll see if they can continue their reign of terror. We do have 4 Centaurs with throwing axes, some regular Centaurs to support them, Butcher's Calvin Guard, Ungor Spearman Herd front line, Ungor Raiders back line, 1 Gorgon, and then, oh god, okay, a Traitor King caster. Got it. It's in Spanish, so I couldn't tell what that was. Hadri's being up 1 is the perfect time to go off meta. Hell yeah, dude. Also, hi Hadri's, I hope you're doing well. Traitor King caster gonna start us off. Nice overcast Traitor King on the Sirenwood Ruin. Good target, honestly. Malice can heal, Chill of Sontar can heal, Sirenwood Ruin cannot. Just take it out. But the Dark Elves are more than happy to kind of kite this out a little bit. Sirenwood Ruin's getting really good damage out. Chill of Sontar was using some breath attacks before. So they're under, you know, they're under no pressure. They're like, sure, take your time. Do whatever. I'll keep shooting at you. Malice charges out to get a little bit of damage out. Sirenwood Ruin gets a big shot off. So it's on the Beastmen to change the state of the game. The Dark Elves are more than happy to keep doing this. And the Beastmen are taking their time to get around. But get around they shall. Centaur's on the backfield. Archers trying to set up positions. Firing at Malice, getting a little bit of poke. But here they come. Gorgon coming up through the trees, so are the Butchers. So they don't take too much damage on the way in. Centaur's falling back away from the Dark Shard shots. Some of them are going to hit trees, but some of them will strike home. I think the Dark Elves are up so far. But we'll see. Chill of Sontar gets a very bad breath attack onto some Centaurs, but looks like he's just going to charge in afterwards. With the Crows of Cain and then himself charging in, they should be fine. Blackguard don't want to break formation too much. They don't want to let these Centaurs just have free reign to run in and fight the Dark Shards. Ah, that was loud, Miss Siren of Red Ladiness. Terror Route should take the Centaurs any second now and free up the Dark Shards. The Dark Shards will be fine. Don't worry about them. But you should be worried about this, which the Calm Guard plus the Gorgon find their way through, and they're finally going to take out those dreaded armor-piercing rounds of the Dark Shards that were so annoying to them up till now. Throwing axes of the Beastmen, trying to take out the Blackguard and Agarond from a distance so they don't have to sit on top of them. The Chill of Sontar is coming, and the Beastmen are running. They want nothing to do with this big, scaly boy. Beastmen have some archers that need to be rallied, need to be brought back into the fight. That is a bit of a mistake. I think all of his micro is focused on the Centaurs trying to stay alive and run around, but he does need to bring his archers back, and it looks like they're running up to fight now. The Gorgon is still in the backfield, though Malice has popped his buffs and is here to get a little bit of damage down as the Butcher's Calvin Guard continue to fight, but they're fighting on top of the Blackguard and Agarond, which could be a disaster. Unless we have a Traderkin coming or something, then the Beastmen just need to bow out of this fight. If it's all a bait to get a juicy Traderkin and then you back off, that's fine. And it is, but now they need to leave. You're fighting on Blackguard! You're fighting on Blackguard! There they go. They're starting to leave. Okay, great. The world is starting to make sense to me again. The Gorgon is going to try and fight the Chill of Sontar, most likely, to just get some healing somewhere else. Maybe it'll fight Malice, but for now it just needs to get away from the Blackguard, and that is what it's doing. While the Beastmen collapse on a different fight entirely. The Whale of Malice is out trying to damage these guys, but it won't be enough to really dissuade them as they crush the Dark Shards that are nearby. Malice is almost routing the Gorgon as it tries to get back. It's probably going to charge over here, which would give it a leadership buff and a speed buff, but it looks like it's not. It is just walking around. So that's that. Beastmen still even on the balance of powers. The Dark Elf front line is taking a lot of damage. Their back line has been shut down, as we've seen. They still have healthy Blackguard. They still have Hellebronai and Malice. So the Dark Elves still have plenty to work with, too, but I guess the Beastmen do have a lot of front line. It's just Ungor Spearman herds, though, so who gives a shit? Warhammer YouTube tier lists when? Me, S tier. Legend of Total War, B+. Everybody else, D. What about Turin? It was a joke. What about Turin? It was a joke. Don't make jokes about Turin! Okay. Anyway, Siren of Ruin continuing to poke down the Traderkin caster whenever possible. Butchers of Captain Guard running away. And even though the Dark Elves took more damage on the front line, their superior Elven Courage did just withstand the storm, and now the Beastmen are the ones routing, even though they have more HP right now. Chill of Sontar is very healthy. He's got several of his Hydra regens off. Another takes its place, plus regeneration. Pretty strong. Sorcerer Beast is fine. And Malice, of course, slowly regenerating up with his Warp Sword of Cain, and then there is all of Tzarkan behind him. And the Butchers of Calgard have been spending this entire game running away from the Blackguard, and they just can't seem to do it. Every second I look at them, they're fighting the Blackguard again. What about me? D tier. Gorgon is once again stuck in a 2v1 with the Hellebronai chasing him. At least it's not the Blackguard, but it's still not ideal. Whale of Malice is out. More of a desperate whale, as it'll do very little damage to the Gorgon, but she might as well, because she's going to die, it appears. Still got the wrong CAD? No. Okay. Thank God. I thought you were saying we were all in a blocker again or something. Anyway, Gorgon's still chasing around the side of Red Ruin, trying to get some good shots out. Dunks on her as Malice continues the pursuit. Beastmen kind of came back on the bounce power for like a second, but it's still not looking great. Sorceress of Beast does get clowned on by the Butchers of Calgard, who can probably clean up all this extra stuff. But that is worrying. That is worrying. That is worrying. That is worrying. That's still a little worrying. So, you know, a lot of things to be worried about. Before you all bail on me, don't leave. Don't leave. At the end of the stream, I want to do a thing. Don't leave. Just don't. Anyway, Gorgon is about to rout. Centaurs with Throwing Axes also routing. I wonder if there's a Traderkin, as both Malice and the Chill of Sontar are heal capping, though Malice has a whole other health bar behind there with a whole other heal cap. So that is a different issue. But the Butchers are cleaning up well in the backside. We are trying to save some Ungor Raiders. Beastmen trying to scrap back into this game. And they have some healing of their own. The Gorgon can still get quite a bit if he's left to his own devices. The Traderkin caster is chasing off the Siren of Red Ruin. Can you, like... We all give CA shit, and I give CA shit, and they usually deserve it. But can we say that you never thought the Medusa meta would be a thing? And now the Medusa meta is a thing. So... They sometimes give a shit about units that suck. When would I expect your games to be cast? I don't know. It's a pre-recorded video. It should come out the next week. They are cast. They're on my channel. Anybody who is a Poisonwind Globadier or higher on the channel can literally see your games right now. Because they get access to everything I upload the moment I upload it. So they're there. They're happening. I don't remember what day. Ungor Raiders get isolated out as the Butchers of Calgard get distracted fighting something else. The Traderkin caster is still kiting away from Malice. The Chill of Sontar is still just healing up. And, like, I appreciate the hustle of the Beastmen, But I don't know what the objective is. They're doomed. They're doomed. Well, okay, maybe. What the hell's happening over here? The Trader can cast on Malice? Demon's Curse hits him. Ooh, he's gonna rout. That's real bad. He's right next to the white line. Oh, he rallies just for a second. He's gonna run. He's running. He's running. There he goes. He routs. That's probably GG. Because now, like, the Butchers can regen Kite as much as they want. They're never gonna be able to take on the Blackguard. So this is over. Okay. We have 340 people still here. We had 1,000 at one point because of the Legend of Total War raid. If you stuck around this long, you probably had a good time. Because I don't want to, I don't want to be a dick, but that raid was like 3 hours ago. So you've been here for 3 hours. You enjoyed your time. You might as well subscribe. You should just do it. Just do it, bro. It's free. It's free. You get the best Total War content out there besides maybe Legend himself. If you're a campaign player, that's fine. Multiplayer is still entertaining to listen, to laugh at, to call us all idiots for wanting any multiplayer stuff to be balanced, not just campaign things to be broken and murder everybody else. It's fine. So maybe subscribe. And this is a good time to subscribe because what's going on this summer? The summer of fun, the summer of Warhammer. We have another faction war because Thrones of Decay came out, so we need a faction war. What faction? What? This is what? That's crazy. Yeah, I know. The Warpstone Cup's happening right now, so it won't be for a little bit. But there is a faction war this summer coming. We're in the middle of the Warpstone Cup. It's a 3-tiered, super big, awesome tournament that'll end in early July with a live stream on CA's channel. The big one, the big CA channel. That's what this is setting up for. We're in the first elimination stages. We're weeding out the people who have no chance of winning from the big contenders like me, myself, and I. Right? So the first round will be done in 5 weeks. We're on week 2. We'll be casting every so often throughout there. Then stage 2 will take 2 weeks. It'll be several little tournaments there. We're still working out the exact details of. But yeah, anyway, 2 weeks of those little tournaments. And then we'll have 2 weeks of stage 3, which is best of 5 live games that'll all be live streamed. And I'm not sure if CA wants to do all 3 streams, because, you know, you have 8 players, so you have 3 streams. Or if we're just doing the finals on their thing or whatever. But that's in early July. So that's exciting. That's fun to get on top of. So maybe you should do that. Maybe you should subscribe. Okay? So you're never out of the know. And if you're like, I didn't know this big tournament was happening. I wish I had been playing in this big tournament. If you were subscribed, you would have known that. And if you were subscribed and you didn't know that, then you need to watch every single video. And if you watch every single video and you didn't know that, then you have attention deficit disorder and need to get that looked at. Okay? Okay. It's all the best content. It's the best. We're the best. You like to see more two multiplayer battles? Enjoyed your one vid on the 4v4. There's another one of those coming. I just commissioned one. I hit up the Grandmaster of 4v4 himself, Lucinia, and I asked for another one to be made so that I might stream it and might get the many views. Okay? Subscribe. Do it. I know you're not all subscribed. You might be like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to subscribe. I'm not going to do it. Fuck you. You're an idiot. No. Do it. Do it. Because have you noticed something? Have you noticed that viewership is going way up as they get more subscribers? It's like subscribers is the only fucking thing YouTube cares about. It's the only thing. Hold on. Don't leave. All right? Because I think Radiant Ash is still streaming. I'm going to send you her away because she's a campaign streamer. And you people like campaigns, so it's whatever. It's fine. But while I set up the raid to go get you back to your campaign homeland, anyway, YouTube only cares about subscribers. So subscribe. Do it. Because if you subscribe, then it's like, man, people might like this. And then it'll get a bunch of people to subscribe. But if you don't subscribe, then it's like, people hate this shit. And it doesn't recommend anything. And then everything sucks. And then I get sad. So don't let that happen. I'm sending you over to Radiant Ash now. Say hello from Human Boy because I owe her a lot. In my life, she taught me a lot about YouTube because even though her channel is smaller than mine right now, she's so much better at YouTube than I am that it hurts. So go say hi to her. All right, goodbye. Goodbye.